I'm Shane.
I'm Bo.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics.
Ave, comrades.
Back for another episode.
I'm happy to be here. I'm excited for this one.
Season 2 still rolling strong.
New format or attempt at new format.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think we need to take a moment here, address the fact that, we are doing the new format. Things are definitely going to be a little slow rolling on...
as we figure out
on hammering in
doing.
Exactly what it's going to be, right?
Yeah, because 3-hour episodes are a bit long.
Yeah,
and so hard on everybody, us included.
We're fixing that. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But you guys just got to bear with us that, we did... Despite having taken a vacation and whatnot, the change came after that. Like, we made the decision kind of on the fly. So we're kind of just feeling out what that means, where we're going.
How we're going to
move forward.
Factor that stuff in.
But the point is, we definitely know they're not 3 hours long now. We are recording for like 2, maybe a little over 2.
Yeah.
You edit the small amount of editing we do, and they're definitely under 2
hour
most of
and
the
a
time.
half.
Yeah.
Hour and 40.
So we're back to a better, more reasonable
listening time for everybody.
Yeah. Before, again,
I love myself, but even I don't want to hear me talk for 3 hours.
It was getting to a point, right? Like, it was getting to a point where it's like, we got to figure out something.
I don't want to hear you talk anymore. Like, you do that yourself.
So this is episode 4, I think, right? So episode 4, we're really starting to kind of get a feeling, but just bear in mind, guys, if you listened to the other episodes and you're like, well, that's not exactly how they did things, it's because no, it's not, because we've not really gotten an ideal format down yet. But we're trying, and we're gonna get closer and closer to what it'll be.
We're an amoeba. We are constantly shifting our shape.
The only problem you have now is that you never know when we might be like, new season, new format again. Yeah.
Next week, season 3, everybody. We're scrapping all that crap. None of it worked.
That's how this works. The going the original way.
Yeah,
that's how it was. We slowly made some alterations when we did things, when we did that. At this point, we definitely have gone far enough. The socials are no longer something we're rolling through all of in the beginning. The main thing I think we will tell you is we do have a wonderful mascot.
Mm-hmm.
Our Riddick Rat
over at our YouTube. KFC
well,
Riddick.
He's our mascot everywhere, but YouTube is the reason we have him, right? Yeah.
It's where he was borned.
Birthed. But yeah, it is the reason he exists. But at this point, he has taken over everywhere. He's just, if you see us on social media, you see his beautiful face.
Look for the happy little rat.
That's right. But yeah, we're not going to give you the full rundown. If you need to find it, it's in the description. Yeah, if you're listening to the podcast, it's in the description. If you're at YouTube, just hit the little down arrow button and you'll see the rest of it. It's all there.
Quick search.
Yeah, you can find this stuff if you need to. It's not that hard, I promise. Most of it even is literally the same. It's all,
even easier if you subscribe and...
Yeah, if you
hit that little bell button thing that they tell you to hit, it'll just tell you.
If you want to check back any episode from season 1, I promise you'll hear it, because we did it every week. Yeah,
every week.
So
for 25 minutes. That's why we cut it.
You can definitely hear it if you want to hear it. Don't get us wrong. We want to get into the fun of everything.
We want to talk about beer and movies and not sit here and be like, now for Facebook, now for this. Blah, because there's 900 million fucking social media platforms anymore.
That's right.
Remember back when there was just one? It was MySpace, and I was like, it?
Man, so long ago.
The good old days when the most important thing in the world was your top 5 friends and what song was playing on your profile. Yeah, we're done. I'm going to get into the beer.
Go for it.
Today, we have Lagunitas Maximus Colossal IPA. Because we're doing fucking Gladiator.
That's right. And again, we're not sure on that pronunciation, but guys, it
was Latin enough for me.
It sounds
That's what
good.
I'm going for.
It sounds good.
It works.
What we're wanting to do.
Yeah, with what we're doing.
Right? It sounds good. It is a 9% IPA. They're
no, you got to read the.
Oh yeah, Robusticus Flavorcus.
I love that.
We gotta lean into it.
Yeah, and
which is why we're going.
And the little Caesar dog on the.
That's
the
why we're gonna go.
here.
Even if that is not pronounced Lagunitas, that's how we're gonna.
That's
go
how we're
with
doing
it today.
it because we're Latin today.
Yeah, today that's what we're going with. Yeah, this is definitely a strong one.
Yeah, it is. Jesus, they weren't lying about the
colossal.
part.
Yeah. They definitely got that. This taste is strong.
It is. It's strong. It's almost like there's just booze in it.
Yeah, you guys know us. In the beginning, we're not giving you a lot because we don't got a lot to go on.
Yeah, we
just started. Yeah, I've had a couple of gulps here.
I will say that I'm missing that kind of grapefruity.
I'm missing something, right? Like, a lot of IPAs have some kind of fruitiness back end, or at the very least, the bitterness from some kind of grapefruit peel or something. Yeah, there's nothing here.
It's like it's almost there, but then it disappears.
And I do miss it. For both of us being the kind of people that are normally like, I hate that. Right now, I'm like, oh, now I know why it's there. I may not enjoy it all the time, but I at least know why it's there now.
For an IPA, it's kind of necessary, isn't it?
And maybe this will grow on us. We've had it happen before. By the time we're done...
At 9%, I don't think we'll be worried about it.
At 9%, I feel like halfway through the first glass.
This stuff is fantastic.
Love this beer.
Best beer.
Everybody should go get some right now.
Everyone should drink it.
Yeah, as Bo already said, we're doing Gladiator, the 2000 Gladiator. Everybody, this is one of those movies again. Like, I don't know if everybody has seen it. Everybody knows it, right? Like, I mean, it was a cultural phenomenon when it came out.
Like 13 Oscar nominations.
It was all over the place. It was all over the board. Ridley Scott, a man who, I mean, he does everything, right? But he does a few things really well. This being one of them, right? Like, he does
historical stuff.
If you want a sci-fi epic, he's your guy.
Yeah, he's your guy.
If you want a historical drama epic, he's your guy. He does both of them really well. So this is perfectly up his alley. It's good.
I love this fucking movie.
That's what I know going in. This is, we'll tell you guys sometimes if it's a Bo pick or a me pick. Sometimes we leave you in the dark and let you try to figure it out. This is a Bo pick. This is a Bo pick.
Was
it
too obscure?
Well, and not only that, I'll say, like, this was one of those movies where just timeline wise for us, it lined up better to be that type of movie for you not for me. Like, by 2000, 2000, you were like 12, 11 going on 12.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was definitely the kind of thing where, like, your little boys are gonna be fascinated with this.
This was the coolest movie.
It's also like right about the time you start to learn about it in history anyway, so it like doubles up your like love of it because like you're just starting to hear about it. Maybe you didn't even like it when you first hear about it in class, but then you see this and you're like, oh, it collides
the Roman Empire is dope.
I can totally understand how that happens.
I have to know everything now. Please buy me all the books.
The thing for me was just that I was 16. And so for me, I was going into like the edge of not pretentious movies, but definitely like
you had your movie snob phase. We all did it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I had a phase, man. Like when I was like freshman, sophomore year, I was like, I am not watching anything that wasn't like black and white or like artsy or some shit. I said, my friends hated me.
Well, that's why I would say like I wouldn't say I was pretentious.
Have you seen this Werner Herzog movie?
I would say I was pretentious, maybe, but I would not say the movies were pretentious. Like that was my SLC punk era, like type stuff. Like maybe a little bit before that.
I
but,
like indie films.
It was definitely an indie film era. It's when I was watching stuff like that, or like Existenz instead of like watching The Matrix. You know what I mean? Like so, I was just watching like
Existence is better.
It is. And so I was just watching the other versions of stuff that might have been mainstream. So it's not even like I was watching the really obscure. I was just watching the slightly off the edge of normal, right? But I was at a point where I would go see a movie like this and it probably didn't capture
the imagination
the same way because it just wasn't the kind of thing I was watching. Like I still watched them. The drive for me was it's a good movie.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I loved watching it again now. I do still just remember being that 16-year-old being like, I'd rather be watching some, again, not pretentious.
As you glance over at me and I am just in awe of everything that's happening on the TV.
Yeah, I remember. And so again, this thing in general, it probably wasn't, it didn't mean as much to me for sure growing up. This was 100% a you movie. Yep. This is what spurned you, right? You were telling me.
This is what started me just like, I have to know everything about not even just like ancient Rome, but history in general. Because I was just like, this is the coolest shit ever. That I didn't know because you know how they teach you history in school, just like, here's a fact and a date, memorize it,
Well, and
repeat it to me in 2 weeks.
Here's 5 pages of straight literature with nothing else, and so just know what that literature said. Yeah. It's not a good way to teach.
My mom takes me to go see this movie because I guess she liked Russell Crowe, which I get it, handsome man. But I'm in this theater, and the beginning of the movie is literally a giant battle with just crazy shit happening. So I'm like invested from that point on. I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome.
You were just like, take my money. I'm good.
Play it on a loop, please. Just start the movie over when it gets done. I'm going to stay right here.
It is great. I mean, I'm not even going to try to downplay that. The
first Ridley Scott movie I ever saw, too.
Really?
Yeah, and I really liked it. So I was like, anything that had his name on it there for a while, I was like, I'll watch that.
I want to say I knew his name more just for sci-fi before, by the time, at like 16. Because again, like I said, most of his historical dramas weren't the thing that got me at 16.
Yeah, you remember I was a big pussy back in the day. I wouldn't watch horror movies.
But yeah, so like Alien and, you know.
That
like
was too scary. Yeah. No, the mean monster will get me. Okay. It's not clearly a man in a rubber suit. It was too real.
Well, and I mean, he did lean into it for those.
When I finally did see it, I was like, wow.
I guess before we go into the main movie, I still want to go over a couple of like actors right before we start. We always got to do at least a few, not the giant rundown we used to do.
And I told him the director already.
Yeah, we've already covered. I don't think we need to say more about Ridley Scott. Yeah. Again, he's huge. If you don't know his name, I really do feel sorry for you.
You hate movies and you're soulless.
Yeah, like because he's done a lot of good ones. I mean, he's got some bad ones under his belt, but he's the kind of guy that his library is big enough. You're definitely gonna find stuff you like.
Definitely in the win column.
But even when it comes to actors, I would say, you know, for as big of an epic movie as this is, there aren't that many like actually taking up real screen time, not like in a background.
Yeah, there's not a lot of secondary characters.
No, gladiators are the closest you get. But most of them,
like 2 of them, really.
I was going to say most of them are very passing even.
Jubba and Hagen.
Yeah,
the big German,
the giant one. Yeah.
But apparently a friend of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I can believe it.
That's how, like, Ridley Scott was just hanging out with Schwarzenegger one day and was like, I need a giant dude, like a big guy. And Schwarzenegger's like, I got you. I'm my training partner over here. He's done some acting in Germany.
No, and again, they didn't need speaking for a lot of them, right? Like, again, the whole idea here is they're not important to our story.
Not really.
They're tertiary, right? Third round characters.
Like that one.
Really, most of the story just focuses around Russell Crowe as Maximus and
Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Maximus. I'll probably just say Max for most of this because
Maxie.
It's speaking on that note, our other character is Joaquin Phoenix as Commodus. I will 100% be calling him Kami. 100%. Just so you know. I'm not going to say Commodus every time I got to talk about that guy. That's a mouthful.
Yeah. It's too many syllables, brother.
Just like I won't be saying not just only Maximus, but I will not say his full name every time or any time.
Not going to do the whole speech?
No. They're not only are they the main characters, they're like the only. I mean, everything is about them.
Yeah, no, this is definitely, you could almost just do this as like an opera.
Yeah, no, like I mean, stage. The other people are very
background.
Yeah, they're setting up going to the next scene between these two guys, or with just one of them fucking going on a soliloquy about the other one to somebody else, right? Like there's a lot of just focus on their controversy with each other.
But not to say that we don't have some other great actors.
There are plenty, awesome. Yes. And we will name a couple.
Yep.
But before we move away, we do still at least need to name Connie Nelson, and that's who plays Lucia, however the Romans like to do the double L Lucy. In a name.
Since we're doing the I thing, but Maxie, Kami, and Lucy.
She is Commodus' sister in the movie. The main reason I want to bring her up is because she was a constant font of knowledge on set, apparently.
She is a bigger Roman history nerd than me, apparently.
She is huge.
To the point where it was slightly annoying to Ridley Scott.
Well, that's fine. Like I said,
he'll get over.
Well, he may not have liked it, but I still think that means that she was a big help to the other actors, though, right? Like, because she's on ground level with them, and she probably helped them understand
Oh, I bet the history
whatever
consultant people loved her because they'd probably say something and Ridley would probably try and dismiss him, and she'd be like, "Oh no, actually," and she probably had like more weight.
Well, like one of the things I saw about her is like you see her all the time. She's got that one ring, it's got that giant amber or whatever colored stone.
It looks very Roman. Like
it is very Roman. Yeah, it is an actual 2,000-year-old thing that she had gotten herself. It's hers. It's not the movies. They didn't find it. She brought it because she herself owned it prior to ever wanting to do this movie.
I love her. She's so cool.
Yeah, she
like that's the kind of dumb shit.
Well, and that's the reason I felt like we have to bring her up for this.
Good.
It's a pretty cool fact about her to know that she was like that educated about the subject and that into it before
without even going to college. It's just a hobby.
She didn't go learn this for the movie either. She's not so method that she
didn't go like, I have this part. I'm gonna go live in the library. No, she just knew it offhand,
and that's awesome. That's dope. I love that about her. So those are our...
She's the coolest person.
Those are our for real, like, main actors.
Yeah.
At this point, just name the people that we like and we want to mention. So I want to go first because I don't want you to steal this one from me in case you're going to say them. Because I know you. You've got multiples I'm sure you want to mention. Tommy Flanagan. Do you even know who that is?
That's the dude with the Cicero.
Glass, yes, Cicero. He's the guy with the Glasgow smile.
His
face
is all busted
scar.
up.
That's real.
Yeah. He got it in like a bar fight or something, didn't he?
He was a DJ and he was walking home at night and he got fucked up by some actual gang members and that's what they did to him.
Messed his face up. He's also in Braveheart.
Oh, he's in a fucking everything.
Yeah, he's in
Sons of Anarchy. He's in...
Oh, yeah, he is.
Dude,
those scars getting cast as a hard ass. You need a badass looking guy.
But he also does other stuff. He's a good actor.
He really is, though.
He can do everything. But he does have those scars. It's one of those things where, like, if you don't know the name, like, if I'm like Tommy Flanagan and everybody at home was like, who? Trust me when I say, think about any time you've seen a guy in a movie and he had them legit. That's him. I've never seen another actor that has legit, even like a little bit of scarring like that.
Because it's all
kudos to him for still just having the balls to go out into acting after getting something. Like a lot of people would just straight up have agoraphobia and never leave the house again.
I'm not going outside. Last time I went outside, they smashed up my face.
That's traumatic.
For real.
But yeah.
Like so I stay in here now. Fuck the outside world.
But yeah, so that's the one. That's the one I have to mention. I love him. He's those guy.
He's one of those guys.
You see him in everything. What about you? Who you got? I'm sure you got some others.
I want to throw out Oliver Reed first because he's such a badass as Proximo in this movie. And it's so sad that he died during the filming.
One thing I read, and again, this is one of those like it's hard to substantiate because you actually have to get it from like people's mouths. And most people probably don't want to talk about whatever. But supposedly one of the original endings could have been that him and Maximus ended up in the ring together.
Oh, and had to fight each other?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Apparently, he did not like Russell Crowe.
Aw.
They did not get along at all.
I mean, I know he's like a kind of a dick in real life, but...
He was Oliver Reed, obviously friends with the older actors on set, the other prestigious actors, right? All of them got along with Russell Crowe. They're all friends with Oliver. He still was just like, no.
Fuck that guy.
I don't like him.
Just doesn't like Australians, I guess.
I don't know, dude. He just didn't like him.
You Aussie fuck. Get away from me.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's... I mean, there are other big names. I'm not trying to deny that.
Richard Harris?
Yeah, Richard Harris. Well, and that would be the one that specifically like got along famously with Russell Crowe and
Oliver Reed, both of them
separately, and tried to convince
probably
them.
It was like, come on, guys, let's be friends.
And he could not. He could not make it happen.
Fuck you, Richard. Quit being a dick, dude.
Could not make it happen. Yeah, but outside those, Richard Harris is going to be the last one I was going to mention.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's anybody else that's worth mentioning.
Not unless you're like a big history or like not history person, like movie person, and you happen to recognize
you stunt people, because I'm sure you can probably see a lot of stunt people doing some shit.
The guy who in the Colosseum, the announcer guy who calls the matches and stuff. If you're a huge nerd, you know he's from the Charge of the Light Brigade. like me.
Yeah. But I know what you mean though. Like outside of things like that, we're not name dropping even other.
I don't remember his name.
It's not even the other those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no.
They're not even people that I'm going to tell you know from a lot of stuff. If you know people from something else,
let us know. Right?
Tell us. But I promise you, it's not something you probably are going to tell us knowing that we still might not know what you're telling.
Yes, like, oh, okay, cool.
It's so obscure.
I don't know what the hell that is.
It's so obscure, we still have no idea what it is.
Whatever German TV show Hagen was in.
The last thing I'd say I want to say before we really get into it is, this is a look. Ridley Scott was really just trying to... He's going for a gritty movie, right?
Yeah.
And I think he really pulls it off.
Gritty drama.
I mainly want to say this before we start talking about everything else, because we don't need to focus on the fact that there are some inaccuracies. We both know that.
Yeah, I know that.
Bo got into history because of this movie. So obviously the first thing he found were the things that weren't right.
Wrong about the movie. Like, Kami don't die that way.
Yeah, we are very aware that this is not the most historically accurate movie. But what we can say is it is probably one of the first times Hollywood tried to take a real look at Rome. Yeah. Right? Like Rome before this
high romantic, super
it's literally you picture the dude on the pedestal couch having grapes fed to him.
I just pour the wine in my mouth.
Yes. Hedonism. Yeah. Right? Like that's
the debauchery of Rome.
That's what people think of. Certainly, even if nothing else, when you think of us seeing the leaders of Rome, like we're seeing in this
the
movie.
emperor and stuff.
Well, and the high generals and all of these people. And this is trying to give us a real look at people, right? Like to see that kind of opulence may have existed, but not on the level the movies wanted us to think it did.
Right.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, you had to actually work.
If you were to ask me which one's more accurate between old Hollywood and what Ridley Scott did here, obviously I'm going to tell you this one.
Yeah.
Old Hollywood went way crazy with it. So I get what he's trying to do, but we just want everyone to understand we do know. He took artistic liberties. It's not all perfect.
He paid so much attention to the detail for sets and costumes and shit like that it's like I don't give a shit.
He gave enough accuracies that I can let the little
world
bit
seems
go.
Real,
right? Like I can let the little bit that he needed to add in go.
The whole
we talked about this the way a woman would dress, right? Like
most Roman aristocratic women would wear white because they're supposed to symbolize purity and virtue, virtus.
Yes, and I understand that and agree that is true. But the problem with that is, as soon as you put a woman in a white robe, she looks like our classic version of a tunic.
Yep.
And
you're automatically back.
You're
to
2 seconds away from feeding her grapes. Right?
It's Spartacus.
It's Spartacus. Yeah. Exactly. And it's not the good Spartacus. It's not the new Spartacus.
Yeah. The TV show.
Which again would never have existed without this. Right?
Very true.
We can both agree. If we didn't have this and the Gladiator scenes from this, we wouldn't have that. We would
never have had that show.
That's the other thing I would say. Before we started talking about the actual movie, I wanted to say some of that is this movie inspired so much that came after it. We wouldn't have the Spartacus stuff, obviously, because they're set in the exact same time period. But the other thing you got to think about is this movie starts, like you've already said, with the epic battle, right? And it's the only one we get in the movie, really. There's no other giant battles. It's a lot of in the Colosseum stuff. But we get this giant one to open with. It's 20 minutes of the movie. I would venture to tell you, because this movie came out in 2000, if we didn't have this, we wouldn't have those scenes in Lord of the Rings. Peter Jackson straight up took... when you're watching the battle in the beginning of this one, it is literally you're just dude, Peter Jackson took this from fucking Ridley's playbook, man.
Yeah, it seems like it.
It's the way you can the way you can see the emblems, but then you quickly pass by.
Kind of shaky cam and the quick shots of action and
shit. And again, this is a movie that kind of got us used to that, seeing can you think of other movies with battles on that kind of grand scale?
Braveheart. And but even that is still, they just kind of run at each other in a big mob.
This one is the pageantry of it, right?
There's a clear shot. I used it for my history report in school. I took a digital camera, remember when those first came out, and went really close to the TV with it paused took a picture of the Roman army marching in that beginning scene with all the little formations and shit, and I blew it up and used it as the backdrop for one of my history reports. I got an A.
I believe it, dude.
Yeah, because it's super fucking accurate.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I would say Lord of the Rings, because again, the fantasy idea of a military is the same. It's the pageantry of it. It's the seeing this grand scale and scheme of everything.
The banners and shit all fluttering.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's the beginning of the movie. We can just keep going since we've already started.
Yeah, we don't even got worried. Yeah, look, we're not giving away anything. When we say the movie starts with that, like, you barely get introduced to characters before we start finding out. Like, yes, you know who Max is. Barely. Like, you know he's the general. I don't know if you know a name yet.
How? Not yet, because I think Quintus is the first guy who's like, General Maximus. And he turns and looks, because he's doing the whole dirt thing where he's rubbing his hands.
That we see constantly
throughout the movie.
But yeah, like, again, the main part of the opening is to let us know the kind of Rome we're in, right? Like, that's what we're seeing here. It is that era of Rome. It is still
in its expansion.
It's during expansion. It's fighting off enemies coming from
barbarian
other places. Germanic tribes.
Yeah.
Germania, because that's where they're fighting. And again, it's epic. There are just arrows flying.
The big, huge catapults throwing pots of fire and shit.
My favorite thing about all of this, the dog.
Oh, yes, the dog.
There's
this cute dog, and they show it like right in the beginning before Maximus goes to go join his cavalry.
You'd swear the dog was going to be in more of the movie. The way they want you to feel for it in the opening,
you'd like it's Maximus's dog.
You'd think it was going to be a buddy movie with him and the dog almost.
I'd
pay for that movie.
I feel like they probably would have had to have killed it at some point. It would have been way too sad.
Yeah.
So they're like, we'll just cameo. Look, hey, look at this cute dog. Oh, look, it bit a guy's arm off. Ha ha. And then let him just kind of fade away.
But yeah, we see this crazy ass epic battle, and it goes on for it's 20 minutes. It's not huge... 20 minutes exact, but it's pretty close. It's 15 to 20 minutes. It's the whole opening of the movie. But we finally see, like, in the mud fight, like, him, like, straight up wrestling.
Yeah, he's in the mud, wrestling a dude who's, like, trying to smash him with an axe that's on fire.
And he's trying to take out the other men because he's that kind of leader.
Yeah. He's in the shit with his men.
He will do whatever he has to save every one of his men. And we constantly see that.
Yeah, he's constantly backing dudes up.
They remind us why he's the guy that he is, why everybody likes him.
There's actually a deleted scene from like immediately after the battle where he's going through like the hospital part of the camp with all the wounded and shit, and there's like a dude who's like bleeding out, and the surgeon's like, somebody help, and he goes over and he's getting his hands all bloody
I believe that.
And I'm like why did I get it? It probably took too long, and they cut it for time, but it was a really good scene.
I understand, but I'll tell you right now, the reason they probably didn't do it is because they didn't need it.
Yeah.
As a moviegoer, I can tell you right now, I understand that about him. I don't need, through everything else that we see that wasn't cut, I know that he's that kind of guy.
Yeah,
I don't need that to know that he would do that. Right? Like, we see the part where he goes down, he gets to know the men, like, after the battle is over, right? Like, the battle is basically wraps up right there, but once it's done, we get the music, right? This is, you know me, I gotta mention, the first time we get a really good music, and this is the first one we get, is after the battle's done. We're kind of looking at the battlefield,
right?
The folly of war. The music really sets it up, right? Like, it's triumphant, they won, but the music's not triumphant.
No, it's all sad, and that woman in the background just crow.
Because they, certainly Max, if not the rest of the men, understand that about what just happened here.
Yeah,
they won victory for the glory of Rome. But this thing that they're doing, this isn't good.
Yeah.
This isn't a good thing.
Look at all this death.
This is death. This is violence. There's
one guy literally on the ground, bleeding, holding his sword up, still cheering with everybody else. And it's like, wow, somebody help that guy.
You know, like, literally Max gets it that, you know, like, he's duty bound to do this because what would happen? He says it, you know, like, because what's his face? His second in command guy was
Quintus.
he was like, Quintus was like, they should know they're already
men should know when they are conquered.
And he was like, would you would I? And that's what I'm saying, he gets it. He understands on that level, right? Like, he's just like,
we're the invaders here, man,
right?
You'd do the exact same shit.
you know,
If it
like
was
I
reversed.
believe that we are right, but I understand where they are coming from because they believe they are right.
They're defending their home.
Yes.
Switch sides, we'd be acting the same way.
You know, because that's the thing that the movie wants you to remember is that this is at a part in Rome's history where Rome is huge.
They're
right?
at the height of its
They are
imperial
literally
might.
from the edge of the Middle East.
We are about to start the downfall.
Yeah, like this is literally like the edge of the Middle East through Africa
Up
and
into Germany.
everything up and down in
England's
between.
already been taken.
They are huge right now. Well, again, literally as we find out when he becomes a gladiator, because everybody calls him the Spaniard.
Yeah.
It is because he is from Spain. It's not a. I know it's weird because we're looking at an Australian guy who doesn't have a Spanish bone about him. But it is because he is indeed supposed to be the hills he mentions is an actual region of Spain. It is a place you can go to today. He is Spanish. You know what I mean? Like so, it seems weird when they say it in the movie, but it is an accurate nickname. It is a true thing about the guy.
I'm going to ignore that in the movie. The house they filmed for him is actually in Tuscany, but whatever. That's
European
just movie magic.
European hillsides are European hillsides.
All
dude.
the scenes of him riding through the desert are in California.
Okay.
They literally bounced all over the world to film this fucking
Deserts
movie.
is deserts. You're not gonna.
It's all sand.
Yeah, you know, like for hillsides, you need to have at least the right type of trees. So European needs to be European. But when it comes to deserts, I can't tell Mediterranean sand from American sand from.
I couldn't either.
I'm sure somebody can, but I'm not the guy.
But anyway, after the battle is when Kami shows up with Lucy because Marcus Aurelius sent for them.
This thing they're traveling in, dude, is wicked.
Armored fucking carriage thing.
Wicked.
That's like a hotel room inside with all these pillows.
What in the world are we even looking at? Like when we first see that thing, I was just
package, I guess. Man.
It's so nuts. And again, like I'm sure somebody looked. That thing is probably historically.
It's probably
accurate.
historically accurate.
It
It's
looks
probably real.
Wild as fuck. Though.
It looks like something that Tim Burton would have came up with.
And then especially like when you see the outside, but then you see the inside, and you're like,
it's all
holy
plush and
fuck!
shit. It's like,
It
wow.
really is like creepy inside.
I wouldn't mind being in here though.
Yeah, no,
these
compared
nice
to everything else,
and shit.
yeah, because like Lucy is like laid out on the bed inside. There's a bed in there, and she's just laid out across it. Like
he's pacing. It's big enough for him to like stand up and walk
she's,
around.
Like, comfy,
right?
It's so crazy.
She's sitting there telling him like, "Sit down. You worry too much." He's like, "Yeah, but Dad is gonna."
He called for us for a reason.
He's gonna announce me as the heir because he's dying.
He even looked at her and said, "Sorry, but he's gonna call me."
Yeah, it's gonna be me.
Which is a no-brainer. This is literally Rome.
Yeah.
This is an era where at no point would he have even considered. The only way you were an empress is if you were married to the emperor.
Yep.
You weren't named it because your dad was emperor. There was no lineage that
political
way.
power.
Yeah, there was no lineage passed down that way.
No.
If there was no direct male heir into a nephew, right?
There's even a part where Marcus Aurelius talks to her. He's just like, "Yeah, man, if you'd have been a man, you'd have been a badass emperor."
Well, and again, like this is an era where if Kami wouldn't have existed, her son, even at 8, just would have been the next actual heir.
And
like,
she would have been the regent in charge.
Yeah, until he was of age. Yep.
Like Nero. That's what happened to him.
So again, she is totally just a victim of her time, and you can tell that about her. She through the whole movie, she's smarter than Kami. She commands
such a presence to any room she walks in. Like everybody just kind of is like, I'm going to do what you say.
Tell that Kami grew up jealous of that.
Yeah,
and he is very aware of his male privilege being the only reason he's getting the things he's getting. The things he thinks he's
running
getting.
Theme with Kami is jealousy. Yeah. He's jealous of his sister.
He's jealous of everybody.
Jealous of
He's jealous of his dad.
Jealous of his dad because he mocks him at one point. He's just like, "Oh, my father, the great philosopher." Like, well, how many books did you write, asshole?
During this ride, we also see the very first settings of the
weird incest relationship. Well, not relationship, but like.
Implications.
He really, really, really wants to get with his sister.
I want to point out that at this point in the movie, it's not even just him. She's the one that starts the weird shit when talking to him. She says it first. increasingly through the movie, they start to make it seem like she's grossed out by it, but she in the beginning is 100% just as fucked up, weird, incestuous as he is. It's like when they make the shift into us wanting to like her as a person, they stop letting her do it, and they only let her be grossed out. I promise you, if you go back one more time and just watch the opening in the fucking thing, you're gonna be like, I
hate every time it starts. I'm just like,
it's
all
gross.
Are fucking weird.
It's gross.
I don't like this.
Yeah, it's strange, but yeah, the movie sets it up for us very beginning. They want you to know right away.
They have a weird relationship.
These two have a very strange relationship. He is on his way. He thinks you said he's going to be in charge.
The next emperor. No.
We don't know about all that.
Not really. Because here in a little bit, after the victory party, I guess.
Before we even get there, I want to mention the part that made me dislike him the most. As soon as he shows up, right? We're not even at the victory party. When he gets out of he runs out of the thing, straight to his dad, past the soldiers.
Have I missed it? Have I missed the battle?
Have I missed the battle?
You've missed the wall.
Everybody's face.
Just looking at him like...
The background
there are
people.
Just like dudes who are carrying people who are wounded.
Stopped what they were doing to look at him for that one.
Fuck?
It fell silent on a battlefield when he said that.
He was so eager to fucking be there.
Like, no one bought that. It was so crazy that he even felt the need to say that.
He's a sniveling little shit. Ridley Scott did a really good job of making you not like Commodus from the minute you meet him.
And then we even get the line from his dad from Dear Marcus. I don't know if we've mentioned that to his Marcus Aurelius. That's one of those names you know. Notice you don't really know Commodus from history
because he wasn't worth a shit.
He's just as arrogant and dumb as what you see
for being crazy. And
he's actually part of he's literally written in history as the downfall, at the beginning of the downfall. He's like the linchpin of the downfall of the Roman Empire. This movie just doesn't even cover.
Marcus Aurelius was like the last of the good emperors.
We get from the line from his dad. Literally, he looks at fucking Commodus and he says, was it like look at the next generation or whatever? He's like, it was just like, geez, what a diss.
Then he fucking just turns around.
He says it to Maximus, right? He's dead eye in Maximus and like, this is Rome. This is the next generation.
All
Rome.
This for the glory of Rome. And kind of points at Matt. And he's just like, dude. This is the dumb fuck that we're leaving this behind to. This is the problem. This is why I need to talk to you later, Maximus. Because he just wants to go home. Like, that was all Maximus wants.
Well, we get to find out, right? Like, he tells him.
Marcus Aurelius is like, what do you want after this great victory? He's just like, let me go home.
Back to his farm.
That's all he wants. He wants to go raise his crops.
What a humble career.
Right?
For when he's not slaughtering
It's one of my favorite little scenes in the beginning is when Marcus tells him, they're having their deep conversation before he tells him the big thing. He's like, tell me of your home. And he gets so into it. It's like the most honest fucking thing ever.
It was honest. That is Russell Crowe telling you about his house. When he tells you about the tree outside and it's smelling like herbs in the morning and jasmine at night.
Shut up.
That is for real Russell Crowe
awesome.
telling you about his house.
That came through because I love that bit where he gets excited because he's just like he's like the sun comes in, warms the stones and all this stuff and
real.
But
that's real.
Wild ponies come around the
that
fence.
Part's
they
probably
tease
not.
My son. He wants to be one of them.
That part's probably not.
No, but the rest of it, he lights up on screen. You can see him and shit. I was just like,
that's real,
I love that shit.
It's great to see that, and that's all he is, and that's all he wants.
He's a nice, simple man.
He tells Marcus, he said, "How long's it been since you've been home? 2 years. I don't remember exactly.
264 days, and this morning.
Yeah." It's an insane.
He has it down to the day.
Is it worth fighting for? Is it?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah, like fuck Rome, fuck all this. I do it.
I fight to get back to them.
I keep the barbarians as far away as humanly possible from my family.
To save them. Once I know they're safe, which is what the conversation was sparked by. It was literally Marcus saying, I think we are safe.
Yeah.
I think we are done. I have fought, 16 years of 20. All but 4, he said. 4 he didn't fight.
4 years of peace and 20
So 16 years of fighting.
He's so good.
No, that whole speech is great, right? Like, because it's him. He's worrying about how he's going to be remembered.
Yep.
He's talking to
he knows
Maximus
he's
about
dying.
Am I going to be remembered as a warring emperor? Or the
philosopher? The tyrant?
The philosopher. He
went down as
history
as the philosopher. I've read Marcus Aurelius. I have his books.
And that's what most people
really
would know
good.
his name for his philosophy stuff.
It's where we get Stoicism from.
He is the last of what is called the Great Five Roman.
Yeah, the Great
Emperors.
Five Emperors.
Yeah, he's the last of the five. He's literally the one that ended it out.
Not to be confused of the War of the Three Emperors. Where the Empire split and they all was like, I'm Emperor. I'm Emperor. No, fuck you,
or to
I'm
be
the
confused
Emperor.
with the Holy Roman Emperor. All of these are different but sound the same. I mean,
Rome never ended. It just shifted around.
It got really confusing for a while.
Right?
We don't even need to get into all that. We promised them we weren't deep diving history today.
This isn't a history podcast, bro.
We gotta start a spin-off for that if we're gonna do that.
I'm down. Let's go.
But yeah, so at this point is when Marcus finally gives Maximus the heads up, like, dude,
I'm not going to name Commodus as the emperor.
I know you want to go home, but what if it's not home? But what if it's not here?
I'm going to send you to Rome,
right,
as kind of like the protector, so the Senate can get all their shit together.
He's like, so
because we want Rome to be a republic again.
He's like, so no more battlefield. You'll be safe.
You'll be fine, but you're going to go to Rome and be a politician, I
You're
guess.
going to be... Well, he literally would have been... they don't make a point to actually say it, but he would have been the next Caesar, right?
Yeah.
Like, because he makes a point to say protector. He says all these words.
Says everything
He
but.
doesn't say the word Caesar. He doesn't say the word emperor.
Or dictator.
Well, and he wouldn't have been emperor, right? Like that would have specifically been a lineage thing. But he would have been the next Caesar, because Caesar was just a title.
Lord High Regent of the Empire.
It just so happens that Rome was one of those places where generally people had multiple titles that were not all technically the same thing, but at some point only one guy had all the titles. But yeah, so he would have been Caesar. He would have been Caesar, because he would have been in control. But the whole idea was that he was Caesar in lieu of the Republic taking back over.
Right. Like, he was going to be the guy who's like, all right, this is what you senators need to do, and we're going to get it. And then when we get it all settled, I'm going to fuck off.
Well, because someone has to be in charge while they are finalizing how that's going to work, right? Like, you can't just have nobody in charge while you're battling it.
You can't just go in there like, all right, we're a republic now, I'm a bounce, you guys figure it out.
Well, that's when all the senators would start killing each other for the new... Like all of the ones who still wanted there to be...
We'd end up with a real fucking tyrant,
yeah,
right?
a true dictator at the top at that point.
Oh no, the return of the kings for the Romans. That's like the worst fate ever for them.
So yeah.
They hate a monarchy.
So he was going to be taking over. Kami was not going to be able to take position.
Maximus does not want it.
He doesn't. He says literally first thing he goes.
All of my heart,
because when he first says, he doesn't tell him. He doesn't say, I'm giving it to you. He says, what would you think about it? Right? Like, I love that. He goes, what would you think about that? And he goes, no.
Like, with all of my heart, no. And then Richard Harris is just like, that's why it has to be you.
Well, it's not even like that's why it has to be you. He's like, that's why it is you. You have no say in this.
It's like, I'm kind of still emperor.
Yeah, like
you don't really get. I'm just kind of making it seem like you have a choice.
The way you described it at first makes it sound like he's building him up, and there's no build up. The dude is just literally like, you don't get a say in it. I'm telling you, this is what will happen.
Yep, that's what's
Goodbye.
Gonna happen. Have a good night. Tell my son to come in here now.
Now, in all fairness, though, he does leave, and you can tell he's a little bit more okay with it, right? Like, he leaves.
Because he goes and talks to Cicero.
And he tells, we don't get to hear him tell Cicero, guy. But we hear him, which he's his assistant, like, right?
Yeah, it's like
his manservant, if you will, for lack of a better term, yeah. But so he goes in, and we don't hear him tell him exactly that, but we hear him start the conversation that would definitely be going towards, the man just, because he says, I don't think we're going home.
We might not be able to go home just yet.
And you know that that's like a ... cut camera away, and I'm going to explain to him what I just heard.
Is about to happen.
So we know that that's what's going down. We see Kami go in to talk to Dad. Or not even yet. First we get Dad talks to the sister. This is when we find out that she
should have been.
If this had been,
she would have been a man.
If this had been a different world, well, had she been a man, or they accepted women as their leader,
were more like the Egyptians.
Yeah. Had we been in a different place in general, she would have been the greatest leader, right? Like, but almost at a fault. Like, that's what he tells us. Like, she would have been too good at the politicking.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe lost sight of the people for the politicking.
That, or the people turn on her and have her assassinated because she's just too good.
Well, if the people do that, it's because you're not... That's what I'm saying. You're not taking care of the people. The people wouldn't do that just in general. They would...
Over there scheming.
You know, the French Revolution happened because they were bad, Bo, right?
What? Not the French monarchy. They're such nice...
Oh, where were we at? What were we saying?
It was when Marcus Aurelius and Lucilla were talking. And then they just like, let's pretend... that you're a loving daughter and that I was a good father. And I'm like, yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, buddy.
Yeah. Well, but again...
Good emperor. Terrible fucking father.
You know, again, like I said, the whole conversation was like proving the point that they're both really good at politics. And that's what that part of the conversation was about. It was literally...
She's a lot more like her dad than...
Well, and him admitting that they both know their place and that they're both good at politicking, right? Like, they both know... when to put the show on, when not to put the show on. But again, he literally says, this was your fault. You could not have... You probably couldn't have led because you're too good at doing this, and you'd have lost sight of this.
But I'm going to need you to keep an eye on your brother, because you know how the fuck he is.
Yeah.
That's basically how the rest of that fucking goes.
Now, the thing is, though, he did not... Did he give her the heads up?
I don't think so.
But she then talks to Maximus before it's all said and done, like she does.
Yeah, like, because she says, like, my father favors you now.
Right? So I don't really understand what happened there, because that's what I thought, too, when I was watching. Like, I paid attention the second time through to even make sure. I was like, yeah, because she definitely talks about it like she knew for sure. Right. And we don't see her get told for sure before. But we do see Kami get told
that he's not going to be the emperor. And he cries.
Throws a fucking fledged fit.
I know he's a dick, but just on an acting standpoint, this is so fucking good from Joaquin Phoenix. Like, he has a full meltdown. Like, I just wanted you to love me. I just wanted you to be proud of me. Like, you sent me the little list of the virtues, but, like, none of my virtues were on your list. And Richard Harris gets on his knees. He's like, it's not your fault. Now, I was a shitty dad.
Now, I agree with 80% of what you just said. The one thing I have a problem with is that the virtues he starts mentioning are bad.
Yeah, they're not virtues.
Good qualities in a human being.
Ambition.
But ambition cripping, like, I mean, not like real ambition, like
crippling
ambition. Like that old school kind of royalty ambition where you're killing people for it.
Yeah.
And you can tell that's what he means.
We call that ruthlessness.
But you know what I mean? Like, he is not mentioning good qualities when he's like, I've got virtues, and you didn't mention those.
My favorite one was like courage. Maybe not on the battlefield, but there's lots of kinds of courage. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Did you we even see him prior to this, before he found out he wasn't going to get called, putting on airs and doing the practice with the people outside,
shit with the guys who
just
are clearly not trying to hit him.
Yeah, you're just like, come on, dude, get off of it.
The smile.
You're a pansy boy, and we all know it. You don't need to play games.
Nobody's gonna try and hurt you. You can act like a badass.
He 100%, and he proves every bit of this, like, this fake lie the whole way. Like, again, through the crying to his dad. His dad at first is like, you know, it's not your fault, it's mine. But then you can even see his dad starting to call him on it. Like, because he keeps, like, trying to ramp it up. And his daddy's even like, all right.
Like, look, just
I need to go ahead and...
Just give me a hug. It's going to be okay, right?
Because it's not changed.
Yeah. You're still not going to be fucking emperor.
You see this moment where Kami realizes that, right? Like, because at first he thinks he's convincing his dad, right? He thinks this crying and this weird speech
and they're doing the hug, and
his dad's going to be like, you can have it.
And he
he can see it in his face, like, no, I'm still not going to be the guy in charge.
And he just starts... He hugs him to death.
Puts his face straight in his chest.
Literally hugs the man to death and just squeezes him to his chest so he can't fucking breathe.
The one vertebrae crack. And then the rest is suffocation. Awful. Awful way to go. Awful thing to happen. Can't fucking believe this.
Can't even hear Richard Harris struggling, like his gasps for air because fucking Joaquin Phoenix is like sob crying while he's fucking doing it. Such a good scene. Love this scene because it's sad and fucked up, but it's so fucking well done. The acting.
Yeah.
But then this causes us to have even more fucking problems, right?
This is what is the linchpin.
This is the
movie.
Inciting incident
right?
for all you literary buffs out there.
Yeah, this is what causes every problem. So he's now in charge.
They go to wake Maximus up.
Maximus gets woke up. This is very specific. Maximus gets woke up to a very specific phrase, which was, the Emperor wants to see you. He does not know yet what's going on.
Right.
He hears this and just simply thinks, Marcus needs to see me.
Before he even goes through the tent, as soon as it opens, it's just Joaquin Phoenix just sitting there just being like, our dad's dead, man. Hug me.
He says that, and then he says a line to specifically insinuate, I'm the one who sent
your
that
Emperor
message.
Asks for your loyalty, Maximus.
I'm not shitting you when he says your Emperor, much like the battlefield moment when he tried to imply he was there to fight.
Yeah.
And it went silent. That tent went silent. Every aide that was in the room, his sister,
they all know.
Maximus, they all knew. They were all like...
But they can't fucking say anything.
They were like, loser says what?
Right?
I can't believe that man just tried to say that.
Maximus doesn't have it though. He just walks the fuck away. He's like,
he turns his back.
I'm not
very
shaking
specific.
Your fucking
turns
hand.
his back. The man speaks to him again, and he keeps his back turned to him and leaves, which is super disrespectful to the man that is emperor.
And then Commodus gives Quintus the nod. This is the beginning of the true fucking villain of this fucking movie.
Well, not only the true villain, also the most unbelievable part of this movie, right? We just got finished hearing from Marcus before he passed away that literally part of the reason he knows nobody would argue with Max being put in this position is because his army loves him. Every soldier loves him.
Yep, they would
top
march to
to
hell
bottom. Nobody would question that. And because the army loves him, the people of Rome love him. They know his name.
Yep,
they know
a very
who he
famous
is. He is
general.
a famous person. People know him.
He's Rome's most successful general at this point. Of course, like he has people every morning reporting what the fuck he did on the streets of Rome.
So hard to believe that a man
that loved
would have a guy who's been on the battlefield with him, who we watched just previously.
He saved him. He's the guy that
they were just in battle. They were just in battle together. Would instantly,
immediate, without thought, turn on him
to do this, because the nod was not just take care of him. It wasn't just put him in jail. The nod was kill the man.
Him. That guy has to die.
Quintus shows up and says, we are to take you as far as we can ride in 1 day's time and execute you. Which I think goes to say it all. To prove that, some people might try to be like Quintus apologetics, right? To try to say, like, he didn't know how deep in he was already, right? Like, could have been told a lie. But here's my
next sentence disregards
I don't even need the next sentence. That sentence already disregards it, because why would you need to go that far away to kill him?
So you can blame it on the Germans, so the army doesn't.
So the army wasn't close enough to know you killed him,
right? Oh,
if you killed him in camp, there would have been a riot.
Now you get to go back and be like, oh, it was so sad. The general took a scouting party of the Praetorians out to scout that ridge line out there, and the Germans got him. He's dead.
Well, no matter what, the point being that
sad.
You know that the execution happened that far away. Like, again, like, it doesn't matter what story. He doesn't know what story might get told yet, so he can't even be like, well, I knew they were going to tell you a lie. He does, however, know that the only reason you would need to execute him away from the men is that the men will not agree with it.
Do that.
Right? So he knew from get one this was crossing a line, right? But not only do I have a problem with that, I have a problem with they then found 8 other men who are also just okay with killing Maximus, right?
Like, those are the Praetorian Guard. they're not part of that army.
I don't care. This is the guy who, again, Marcus himself, the actual Caesar said, "You are so popular in Rome that everyone knows your name." I just don't buy it.
Bonus?
Like, I'm not even saying that they I understand that they don't have a military responsibility to him, but the sheer notoriety of him would say...
Take LeBron James out real quick and just put a bullet in his head.
At this point, at this point in time, those guards are the only people who know for a fact that literally Max was he who was to be king.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why we're getting rid of him, right?
So again, like, I just find it hard to believe that he was so popular that he was about to be the man to be king. And they found 9 people willing to do this.
Paid him real fucking good? Threatened their families.
Something. But you get what I'm saying?
He is the emperor.
This is the, like we said, this was just the downfall to this is the most unbelievable
this is a plot hole.
Part of the movie.
30 minutes into the movie.
Everything else I can believe. I cannot believe that Quintus and then 9 other men were like instantly. And I mean, this all happens within like an hour of the man dying, right? Like Marcus is dead immediately.
They go wake him up. He goes into the tent. And they're like, "Hey, shake my hand." He's like, "Oh, fuck yourself." And then like he walks into his tent. And he's telling Cicero, "Hey, get my shit. We wake the senators. I need to talk to them because they're probably in on it." And Quintus walks in behind him and is like, "Hey, we're going to arrest you and you're going to die."
So yeah, I like I said, biggest plot hole I have.
It's like 30 seconds.
But like Bo was about to allude to, and I'll let him go ahead and say it because it does get worse. Like I said, I don't even need the next line, the part where he goes above and beyond, crossing the line to know this man was bad. But this is
what seals it right here, because he's supposed to be Maximus's boy, like his second in command, his dude. He's like, "Quintus, tell me you're going to take care of my family. Your family's going to be following you real fucking soon. They're going to be dead.
You can say hello to them yourself."
The afterlife. And
again, that's one of those you got to remember how the Roman afterlife works, right?
Yeah.
Because the only way he'd be able to do that is if they were following, if they were recently enough behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, he's ferried across. It's all a little bit different. It's harder to find someone. But if it's all close, if it's all really quick, which again implies that this is happening soon. They're going to be right behind.
We're going to kill you. And as soon as I walk out of this tent, I have another detachment of Praetorians who are going to go.
And no shit,
the fucking way to Spain. I have problems with this.
And no shit, that's what we see.
Because they take Maximus out to kill him. We have a quick fight where he gets away.
We don't even need to get into it. It's super dope, though.
He's a badass he kills 4 dudes
at once. Well, he's the general of the army for a reason. It's back in that day, you're the general because you survived enough battles to be that guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he knows how to survive.
Right. He was definitely one of those generals promoted from the ranks.
Oh,
he wasn't just like the senator who said, "I'm going to buy an army today."
Again, he's a dude from Spain.
Yeah.
Spain is not even like the heart of Rome. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a far off piece of fucking nothing to Rome.
Oh, yeah.
So for him to
constant problem for the empire.
For him to make his way up to general, being a Spaniard, again, that's why the movie wants us to know that about him. He really is a guy who's gone against the odds.
Such a logistics problem here in a second.
It's okay.
Because I know. Because he has to ride home. He has to get home to save his family. From fucking Germany to Spain in 2 days. He literally camps once. And the next day is in Spain.
Now, in all fairness, we don't know that. We only see the overlaps of the once. Because he gets there late. So we don't know how.
Like he's that far behind. Maybe,
but we don't know
because they're not like bones. They're still kind of crispy and the fire's smoking.
Could have been like a week, dude. We don't.
Fires would have been
embers.
Out.
Embers in a big farm. Come on. But either way, we're just trying to.
I get it. We had to get him from one part to the other part.
I think right now we're just trying to be playful because this is probably the worst part of the movie.
Even Ridley Scott, the director on the commentary,
this is hard.
To it, he has a problem with that. He's like, yeah, I know it. It's stupid, but we had to get.
We have to get it.
He felt it was important that there was more of a journey because apparently in the original script it went straight from Germany and he was just immediately sold as a slave straight to Rome, and then the rest of the whole script was just
we never mentioned the family either.
Yeah, no, we don't. It was all just like arbitrary, like, oh, I want to get back to my
we need to get
family.
rid of them for sure. I agree. It had
So
to happen.
I like
awful,
that. It's just it's one of those things where it's like, all right, just ignore this one fucking part
because it's really bad.
Ignore the 1,500-mile journey he had to take.
Well, I'm fine with the journey. Even I'm just not fine with the. I'm just not okay with what's going on at home.
Yeah, no,
while
that's
the
bad
journey.
too.
That's the only thing. The journey's the journey. Whatever. He definitely didn't do that. Again, your problem is that you keep wanting to think it's 2 days. I'm telling you, we just didn't see the time lapse of all the nights. Is all.
Yeah,
it was probably like 8. He can't tell us 8 days.
I don't know how long would it take to go from June?
Less time than you think. I bet. You remember, Europe is actually a lot closer than it seems. We don't actually know how many days he took.
Yeah, but
we don't get shown. It seems like, but like I said,
if they hadn't have done the weird little like, I'm going to stop at the campfire for a minute scene where it's like literally like 2 seconds where he's like, I got a campfire and I'm just kind of chilling, and then back to riding the horse. If it had just been him riding the horse, I would have been like, all right, this is more montage-y.
Yeah.
But him taking the time to set up camp made it seem like it was like, oh, he did this in 2 days.
I'm sure the problem is, though, if they would have done it all montage-y, most other people would see that bow and they would be like, oh, he just rode straight there.
Teleported.
Right? Like, that's the problem.
He has the horses from Crowe.
Your problem is that you wanted to see...
The fire ones?
Your problem is that if you have a montage like this, you wanted to see multiple days in the montage, not just one camping. That's what you're... Like I said, my bigger problem with the whole scene is not actually the time framing. It's literally the gruesomeness of what happens.
Poor kid.
It's pretty bad.
I feel bad for the kid because he's so happy. He sees the horse.
He thinks his dad coming home.
He's like, Papa,
yeah.
And he's running down the little driveway thing, and they just mow him the fuck down.
We don't even get to see what happens to the wife till later, but they're both.
It's bad.
Well, even when we get told, we can't even guarantee that that's true.
He's just saying...
I think we can wait.
He's just trying to get
we'll get there soon, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, but he's lying. And I'm pretty sure there's definite proof he's lying.
Yeah, Maximus arrives shortly after. Too late.
Too late. They don't worry about how far. It's late. It's too late.
They are all dead.
He sees their bodies hanging.
Yeah, they are like crucified to the
in
door
the remnants
and
of
just
the building,
hanging there. And we get the nastiest crying scene in cinema. The snot
and spit is everywhere.
Ridley Scott wanted it. He's like, I want you to be just the most distraught
you would
ever
be,
fucking been. And,
I mean,
and
it
he's
makes
like,
sense.
I want snot. No, and Russell Crowe's like, oh, okay. First take.
I mean, it makes sense.
That was it. That was the only take they did.
That's what you would want, though. I mean, it's true. You would be that kind of crazy. But now, this is where it gets another, like, nuts part to me, right?
Yeah.
So he just, like, collapses.
Yeah, right after he buries him, he's just like, I'm done. I'm just going to die right here.
On his property in Spain, and then gets picked up a Muslim traveling caravan.
It's the Roman Empire. It's awful integrated. They have trade caravan. They just happen to.
It's just
weird. Then we need.
Why were they in the Spanish hillside?
Because it's close to North Africa.
You saw the picture of what that place looked like before it burned. It was majestic.
Nice green fields and pretty trees.
Does it look like where a random caravan is traveling across?
No.
Okay.
Don't make me poke holes in my favorite movie, Shane.
He literally wakes up what could only have been a day later.
And somehow got across the ocean.
With rocky desert underneath his body.
They're supposed to be in North Africa.
Either way, he ends up at a city.
With a
caravan. We don't need to have a description for it. It's a slaver caravan out into the city.
Yeah. This is a set.
I believe that.
Like, they built this whole little Middle Eastern city thing. They just we're like, oh, this nice little valley thing here. Like, we're gonna build this fucking city in it with a little Colosseum and everything. Very little of that shot is CGI.
But so when he gets there, he finds out he's in the slave trade. Again, that's what's
this is where we meet Proximo.
Yeah, well, what I mean is that's what's so crazy about the whole thing, right? Like the trap, they picked up a dude who was collapsed.
You're a slave now.
Not far from what was obviously a burning estate.
They didn't go to any kind of authority and be like, "Hey, we found a guy half dead."
They picked him up. They just said, "Okay, you're ours.
You're coming with us."
I understand it was a different time,
but it
doesn't seem like it was. It doesn't seem like it was that time.
You shouldn't be just grabbing people. There's a there's a town near this villa, right? There has to be. At least within a couple of miles. Go there and talk to whoever's in charge.
Yeah,
Be like, hey, somebody burned down this villa. We found this wounded dude.
Nothing, no.
Is there a doctor? No, they just grab him and be like, nope, slave now. Off we go.
With giant wound on his fucking leg.
Or his arm. It's his arm.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
It's his shoulder, and they put the maggots on it.
Well,
it'll clean it.
It wasn't necessarily. I don't know if that was.
Really
I don't think that was a them thing. I think that was specifically a Juba thing. I think that was like he did it.
Yeah, Juba kept him alive.
Yeah, and so that's one of those things where it's like
that's why they're friends.
Yeah, I don't think the captors cared.
No, Juba, like if he dies.
Yeah.
Because Juba was like, "Don't die."
Yeah.
If you die, they'll feed you to the lions.
Yeah, they're worth more than we are. Yeah. Which almost implies, like, so Juba knows people who have gone here before? Because it's not like he's gone, because if he's gone, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Right? There's no... this isn't an era of you ended up captured twice.
Yeah.
You captured...
Pretty much the one time, and that's it.
Because literally, Proximo, as far as we know, until way later in the movie, is the only person who's ever survived this kind of fate.
Right.
Super lucky. Yeah. Not something that happens a lot.
I don't even know if you have to be like the most skilled, but fuck you, the crowd has to love you, right? Like you gotta be the most over motherfucker to get out of that situation.
But yeah, so Proximo it shows up to purchase people, new slaves. We quickly
did you hear the math he gave that guy?
Yes.
I'll give you 2,004 for the beasts. That's 5,000 for an old. Oh, okay, cool. It's like, stupid fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, we can quickly see that this is what he does.
Yeah, he runs a gladiator school.
Yeah, he is. Makes you wonder what the other people, because again, the insinuation is that he doesn't only buy slaves for the gladiator school. So like what are the other ones for?
Fun?
I don't know. We don't focus
cannon fodder. They said the gladiators have to have something to cut into for practice. You gotta really know that angle.
We see the practice, and I would say that it was all big dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was only people he deemed for the gladiator. Those other ones were...
If you're under 200 pounds, I don't need you. Get the fuck out of here.
But yeah, so we quickly see that it's a gladiator school. He tells all the people, like, you guys are the lucky ones. You guys are the ones I deem worthy enough to be trained by me.
Right. And I shall be closer to you than your whore of a mother was.
I was say, he starts to hit him with some fucking Arlie Ermy style fucking... shit. He's just like, I mean, you can tell he knows how to control a regiment of men, right? Like, he definitely knows how to do that.
He's very experienced at this.
But yeah, he breaks them down mentally for sure.
Then we have the testing. I liked this, where he's just like, see how badass you are, the red versus yellow. If you're yellow, you're
red,
bitch.
you're yellow. Well,
if you're red, you're strong, I guess.
Well, I guess, but like, what's even the point of that? Like, right, okay, so we see that. We see that you label some red, some yellow. But then we immediately see him throw them into the fight where he's like, oh, if you got you want to be red. Red's the...
Yeah, because you get the sword. If you're yellow, you just get like a shield or something.
But you're chained to the other person.
Still not fun.
I get it, but I'm just saying, red doesn't really get to brag that much if they're still literally being weighed down by the guy. Right?
Like, awesome, I got a red, I'm so cool. Wait, you mean I gotta carry this fuck?
Like, well, again, like, big dude who even said you want to be red, he only survived because he was strong enough to flail the fucking dead body around.
And he pulls the poor bastard into the sword as a shield.
Yeah.
He's like, come here, you little shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, every other person you see in
Cuts
this first fight literally dies because of the yellow, right? Like, the only
except for Maximus, he's the only one.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. We see two sets of people. It's two red guys survive, and one of them is because it's Maximus that helped him, and one of them is because the big dude, because he's just big enough he can throw the dead body around.
That one, he kills that one fucking guy. He just picks him up, throws him into the spikes on the fucking wall.
But yeah, this
the first fight was awesome.
It totally sets up a lot of fun stuff for us. It was the first time he finally actually fought. He knew before he fought, right? Like, we see the moment of realization when he hears the last speech from Proximo, and he's like, oh, oh shit, like I've been a pacifist. I've let them strike me.
Yeah, beat me down and all this shit.
All this other stuff.
I got the little yellow mark on my shirt.
But now I have to.
Yeah, now
so
it's
he
like,
was like, fuck
shit.
it, all right, I'm
all right,
ready.
fine.
And he does. He proves himself.
Even gets a weapon. He started out with a shield.
Oh, dude.
He beats the shit out of a guy
that
with the shield, takes that dude's sword, and just starts rampaging.
The chain, dude, when him and Juba work together
Right?
and
Clothesline
the
the fucking guy.
Fuck, stop it, man.
Well, after they stabbed him in the dick with his own trident.
So we see that they are definitely the top of the school.
Yeah,
they survived.
Hey, good job. Your on-the-job training is complete.
While this is going on, though, we get a cut to Kami finally taking his new position. Right?
Yep, he's back in Rome. He's got a big parade going, and all the people are pissed.
It's so funny because they zoom into like the smaller group where he's actually the actual ceremony, right? And the one guy even says like, and we got these proud supporters of yours or whatever, like, and he's like, I'm sure you had to pay. Like, Kami
I hope it wasn't too expensive.
Kami is not even too proud to know this is fucking bullshit. He's like, I know you paid them. I'm not stupid.
I'm not dumb.
I know people don't like me. Fuck them.
That is his senator from the rest of the movie.
Oh yeah,
that guy. Like,
that's his inside man.
His dude on
that's
his
inside man. That's what Gaius, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Gracchus is our guy.
Yeah, Gracchus is our dude.
I know that because literally at a certain point in the movie,
he has the better beard.
Well, I know his name because at a certain point in the movie, literally Kami almost becomes like Jan and Marsha Brady about fucking Gracchus. Like he's just literally like Gracchus. It's always Gracchus. Gracchus is always a pain in my side. It's just like, okay,
grouchy ass old man with his republic.
Do you think Gracchus has a new woman? You know, like he even says that to his sister later.
Know.
That was so weird. I was like, this is random as fuck now.
Like, I saw you with him. I thought you might know that he was banging
someone else.
He's like, why do you give a shit?
In the world? Okay,
it wasn't even like he was saying it like he was implying that she was. It was just like, do you know?
It was like a general curiosity.
I saw you talking to him the other day. Like, is he fucking anybody?
It's so straight. Like I said,
Commodus wanted to fuck him.
Like I said,
it was.
It is very Marsha Jan Brady with fucking Kami and Gracchus for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Once he gets in charge, though, he is with the rest of the senators, and the senators are like, "Well, aren't you going to do this or this or this?"
Yeah, like there's a plague.
Well, they're doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah, they're like handing him like scrolls and shit.
Yeah,
like,
well,
hey,
and Gracchus,
you want to be emperor?
Is the tipping point because Gracchus is the one. He says, "What about the plague that's starting to come at our doors? Do you have a plan for that?" Fucking man gets fed up and he's like, no, blah, 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 blah. The people are looking to me. I'm going to give them what they desire. I'm going to be like a father. Yes.
I will bring them to my bosom and love them. And he's like,
have you ever brought a person with a plague to your bosom?
Yeah. He's like, you ever embraced anyone dying of plague?
I loved it when he said that.
No. But if you interrupt me again,
and then
your ass will.
Dear Lucilla had to step in.
She did.
She had to be like,
she calmed it down.
Well, she just knew that if she didn't stop things, her brother was going to lose his power, which meant she would lose her power. This is the fault that Marcus said is hers, right?
Yep.
Is that she cares
too good at politics.
Well, and she cares too much about it, right? She likes her power. And she didn't care what she had to do. At this point, she knows her brother is horrible.
Yeah,
right?
If she'd have just kept her mouth shut.
But she will lose her power if he loses his. And goddamn it, she can't lose hers.
No, if she had just kept her mouth shut, none of this shit would have happened. The Senate would have. They would have. Julius Caesared his ass.
But then she wouldn't be powerful, Bo. Because then she's not related to anybody in charge.
She could go marry like some prince somewhere.
Well, again, the whole point here is that it was supposed to be
marry her off to the Parthians.
It was supposed to be a republic. She should have just started trying to romance one of the senators. Anyway.
I mean, Gracchus. You know,
Gracchus
looks like he's got some money. You know,
he looks like he's got some money. That's not the only thing he's got going for him. He is also very old. It so cracked me up whenever
he could die real soon to get all his money. Right?
When the question was, "Do you think he's got another woman?" I was like, "That guy?
He's like 80."
We're asking about this dude. Are we talking about the same Gracchus? Is there a Gracchus the younger that we're not seeing on camera? I love that you get the joke. That was so good.
Because that's a very Roman thing.
Yes. I love it.
Gracchus the elder and Gracchus the younger.
And again, they would do it interchangeably. They would never tell you in conversation. They would just expect you to know which one they're talking about. Yeah. Because it's a very honorific name. They wouldn't use it in commonplace.
That's a history joke.
Yes, it was. I appreciate that you laughed. make me feel like it's definitely going. There are a few people that's landing with for sure.
It's just like Pliny the Younger. I mean, it's a direct line. I get it.
But yeah, so at this point, though, they're like, well, then if you're not going to do this, what are you going to do? The people don't care. Like, your daddy could help the people because the people love that he won for us.
Yeah.
He made Rome.
Great.
What are you going to do?
Games.
I'll let them feel like the same excitement with the games. And at first, you, like, as the audience, we're even kind of like, that's stupid.
That is dumb.
Right? Because we don't get to see anybody else's reaction. Not only that, but he says that, and then we just cut to the, like, what is this 5-second cut of him with the D&D style sculpture?
In the little tiny Colosseum and shit. He's just like...
We never see it again. Why do we have it right now?
I don't know.
It literally cuts from him in the Senate to him in the dark playing with the toy to then him...
The game's happening because it's an aerial shot of the Colosseum and stuff.
I just
and it's
don't
like, all right.
understand why we needed the weird toy scene.
Somebody was super proud of that model
I
and
guess.
wanted to show it off.
But so then once we get to the actual games, like the first day that they're starting, we see the announcement flyer being hung up that they're about. It's not even just games. This is when we find out that he's about to do an unprecedented 6 months worth of games,
150 days of games.
This is insane.
In honor of my dearly departed father, Marcus Aurelius,
and the
that
glory
I definitely didn't kill.
And the glory to the Rome that he built, right?
That's
what this is
It
for.
all sounds so great.
And again, we all said this is cheesy and this is stupid, but even Gracchus, who hates this man, admits...
I think he's smarter than we gave him credit for.
This is smart.
I think he knows exactly what Rome is.
Even the man who's with Kami was like, really? Because I thought this was stupid.
Because he shows up at the table like, games. Do you believe this bullshit?
You think
this is what he's going to do? Rome is apparently just a mob.
Well, Rome is
you win the mob, they'll do whatever you want.
Rome is like every society. If you can entertain them,
they won't question much.
Is society that different today?
No.
If you can entertain us.
We're just going to ignore what's going on around us because, hey, cool, look at the shiny keys.
Man, that's some pretty good entertainment.
It really is.
As we say on a movie podcast
trying to entertain people.
Entertain.
Please ignore that last
We love entertainment and we're trying to entertain you through our talk of entertainment. Maybe we should stop bashing entertainment.
Are you not entertained?
Yes. Exactly.
Which is the next scene.
We're almost there.
Almost there.
Before we get there, the few things I want to mention is at this point after this, we've already seen him scraping off his tattoo.
Yeah, getting rid of that Roman Legion tattoo.
The main reason I even wanted to mention that is just because
it's just a rock.
That's so painful.
It is a sharp piece of rock.
Like this happened so much back
when it's just carving it out of his fucking arm. It's
one of those things. It was there. It helps us know that he's trying to completely separate himself from the previous life he had.
I am a gladiator now.
Yes,
I am Spaniard. That's my name.
Exactly. That's who I am.
I mean, after all that shit, I'd kind of do it too. I'd be like, all right, I am a totally different fucking person. That guy no longer exists.
Yeah. So this is the time we can go ahead and get into it. This is their next time in the Colosseum. Their next time fighting.
There's the shot of like so many. He's so fucking popular. There are people sitting up on the hillside to watch this fight. They're not even in the arena, and they are all chanting for him. And he goes out. How many of them? There's like 6 of them this time, right?
Yeah.
Just wrecks them. Whole thing takes 30 fucking seconds.
Oh, dude, it's nothing. He's
the guy with the pig mask at the end. He just takes him and just cuts his head off and shit, and the whole crowd just goes silent.
He's just looking at them
like, what? What? Is this not why the fuck your asses are here? The classic legendary line, the are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you were here? And then throws the fucking sword at the guy in the balcony like, fuck all you goddamn people.
The sword is the thing, dude. Like, that is
smashes all their fucking, like, cups and stuff. Like, they barely got out of the way.
And the crowd goes wild for it, dude. Like, everybody. Like, even the fancy people
who just had the sword thrown at him, they're just like, oh, that was awesome.
this leads us to what I feel like is one of the most mismatched scenes ever. Because immediately we get Proximo talking to him and basically saying, all right, well now I need to tell you, you're in on the next lesson. Basically, he's like, let me teach you about showboating.
Yep, you got to win the crowd. It's like, but
did you just watch what we just watched?
Yeah, like after he killed everybody, he showboated. He cut a heel promo.
Yes, he just dropped the best goddamn wrestling promo I've ever seen in my life.
Right?
He's the heel, and he's got the crowd loving him.
It's an anti-heel,
right?
What we call that.
Well,
the heel the crowd loves.
Well, this is the Rock in the era of the sunglasses. Dropping the people's elbow. So like, he was the bad guy. Cold. He was the bad guy, but he was the people's bad guy. He was the guy that the people cheered for.
That's our scumbag.
Right? That's exactly the moment that we got right here.
So good.
And so when Proximo said this, I was like,
the only issue is he killed him too fast. He gets the showboat part of it. He gets the play to the crowd.
But in all fairness, I agree with Maximus on this. If you might die while showboating should wait until you know you can't die.
Exactly. I mean, and personally, he killed 6 guys in 30 seconds. That's pretty goddamn impressive. That's a show to me.
Yeah. No, but this is when Proximo does tell him why he might want to start showboating at the right time, right? Proximo's like, well, do you know who I am? Do you know how I got here?
I used to be a gladiator.
I earned my freedom. You know that's not something that happens, right?
Marcus Aurelius gave me a wooden sword. He touched me on the shoulder and shit.
Dude, the laughter that came out of fucking his face.
I love that shit. Maximus dies. He's just like, you knew Marcus Aurelius. And Oliver Reed just immediately cuts back at you like, I didn't say I goddamn knew him. I said he touched me on the shoulder.
Because the best part is right now, as far as we know, Proximo and none of these men know who he is. He's not told these people who he is.
He's just some random guy.
He is still just the Spaniard.
Yeah.
He is just a Spaniard.
Who has some potential as a gladiator.
Yeah. So it's so funny the way he fucking guffaws about that without telling him why he thought it was so funny.
Like, he doesn't
Proximo
know
has to be like, what is this lunatic laughing at me about, right?
I think that it kind of came across in
oh, no, it did.
Because he like looks at him like, fuck you, I didn't say I goddamn knew him.
I just said I met the guy.
Why are you laughing? Like, did you fucking know him, asshole?
It literally,
Proximo should have came at him.
It'd be like me telling you I got a picture with somebody, and then you like acting like I said we hung out all night or something like.
Oh,
I got
like
a
your
picture.
friends.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, no one said that. You
like,
know?
Oh yeah, you met fucking The Rock. Okay, you're best friends now. Psh, no,
I met him. That part was true.
Took a selfie.
Yeah, done. No talking.
Literally ran into him at a gas station.
Literally no speaking. I had camera. I just kind of pointed at it. And he said, and we took pictures. No words. Nothing. Walked on. Nobody said I was better than you.
No, that's totally how Russell Crowe acts here. He's just like, oh, fuck you, you know Marcus Aurelius.
And again, so you totally understand why Proximo is a little bit like...
Yeah, I totally get it. That's why I like that scene. I love that he just whips around like, fuck you, I didn't say that.
Yeah, so this is, though, the moment that when, as soon as he hears that, Maximus is like, idea. Right? Like, he hears him, he's like, you know how I got that? I got brought in front that everybody liked me enough.
Everybody loved me. I got to go before the emperor, and
I got to talk to him, and he had to because that's what the people wanted.
Fucking in, right?
Right? He said, "Oh,
I too want to stand before the emperor
for
just
different
like
reasons."
You.
The look. I
disregard
Russell
what he said.
Crowe's fucking face. In that scene, you're just like, God damn.
I'm gonna kill that.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna use this opportunity to take that.
He's already forming the fucking plan. And then Proximo gets super happy. I love this fucking part. He's just like, ha! Good. We'll go to Rome and we'll have the great whore suckle our teat until we can suckle no more, and then we are fat and happy.
Yeah, well, because
maybe you can
literally
be free.
Right before this
like,
is when
he
got
on this big speech.
Yeah, well, because right before this is when he got the news, right?
Yeah.
That they were going to finally go back, because that's why he was so excited before the. You told me, I think, before we did this, there was the deleted scene where he did tell them.
Oh yeah,
he should showboat. A little bit.
It's right before the fight with
which
the
again would
guy.
make the whole other scene kind of make
more sense.
But again, it's the reason why he was excited. He got told before that, he's like, we're going back
to Rome.
Let's give them a show, boys.
Right, go put it on.
Let them know there's a reason we're going back.
We're going back.
Yeah.
We're the best gladiators, right?
But yeah, so without it, all of this kind of makes little sense.
Just a little less sense.
We get their grand return now. Man, dude. And I love their grand return.
Right.
The opening up of the Colosseum, you see them riding into town.
Fuck. And the shot of just they're all just like, I didn't know people could build shit that big, because even Maximus hasn't been to Rome.
Yeah, exactly. Well, again, that's it.
It's his first time
to know
seeing it.
He has been a general in the army. He is a Roman citizen in the time where that means you could be from anywhere. Doesn't mean that you've been to Rome. It doesn't mean that you've been to
the city, the light of the empire.
He doesn't know Sparta. He doesn't know, these are they might as well be storybook fucking places made up as far as he knows. And that's exactly the look you get when they see this dude. All of them are like,
all the gladiators are like, holy shit.
Right, I didn't think people could do. How do people do that?
There's no goddamn way that's gonna fall down.
At this point, we finally see who is my favorite stand-in in the background. The chubby dude with the mohawk mullet.
Mohawk and the tribal tattoo and shit.
Where is he supposed to be from?
The Roman Empire was vast. And apparently made it all the way to the Maori Islands.
Were they? See, I thought the same, but he also is a white guy.
I don't know,
because it's clearly like blondish hair, right? But everything else, I agree. The tattoos look maybe Celtic, maybe it's weird Celtic knots. Maybe it's weird Celtic knots. Maybe we were both trying to put
it looks like the
douchebag
tribal tattoo.
I agree. Which with the mohawk
makes it even worse. It's like fucking Tatanka with a fucking bad tattoo.
Man, yeah, he's my favorite. I don't know if we ever see him again.
He's throughout the movie.
Is he? Okay. I didn't pay attention.
All the time. If you pay attention, he's in the background just doing shit.
I'm gonna have to watch it again. I'm gonna have to watch it again, because I know in that moment you see him he's front and center.
I feel like even at the very end when they all come back out, the very end, he's in the group. I feel like he's back there. Mohawk guy.
Here's to you, dude. During this whole intro, we see Lucilla sees Kami being weird with her son.
Yeah, he's watching him sleep and shit. And she's kind of like, hey, bro, what the fuck are you doing? He's just he sleeps so peacefully because he's loved. I have such daddy issues. Daddy, why don't you love me?
You love me, don't you?
Don't you love me, sister? Kiss me.
These two are so...
Dude, it's so weird. I hate it.
It's awful. And even right now is the time where, I would say, she doesn't act like it's a problem yet.
Grossed out
She's
by
not even she just acts like it's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
not like it's a problem.
Oh, this is kind of weird.
Yeah. But I don't even want to talk about it.
I get it. It's kind of historically accurate. Commodus did have a thing that was weird with his sister.
Well, and it was Roman times. And it was pretty commonplace,
but it didn't need to be in the movie.
This is the part where I was telling you, this is where he has his Gracchus speech.
Yeah, his meltdown.
Yeah, where he's just it's
always Brady moment.
Everything turns up Gracchus.
Marcia.
And so, what is Lucilla's response to that? Let's drug him. I want this bitch to go to sleep so I can go to sleep.
Drink this.
She fucking dude.
He does look at her for a second you didn't poison this, did you?
She dropped enough of whatever the fuck that drug was to have killed him. Did you see that? That was enough to make that drink thick.
It's 3 tablespoons of this powder that she drops into it.
It's nuts, dude.
But he's still just concerned with his games.
Well,
if the people love me, I can do whatever the fuck I want, right? When we get to the next big battle, right? This is the first
in the Colosseum.
Our guys go.
This is the first time we see our people in the Colosseum,
and they're going to reenact the Battle of Zama against Hannibal and Scipio Africanus.
Well, and this really separates out the group here, right?
Yeah, because they're the new guys, right?
Not only just because they're the new guys. Up until now, these guys had only done old school gladiator stuff.
Like solo combat.
Actual gladiator.
Yeah, one-on-one
fight.
or one-on-two.
This is mock battle.
Yeah.
Right? The people are coming out and they are shooting arrows and they are...
That's what the people want.
I've got no problem with that.
Proximo is not happy about it.
But I am just saying, though, that the only people that were prepared for that were the people that had actually seen battles. Because the guys who were just good at fighting, who had never been on a battlefield, were like, whoa,
what's happening?
Whoa, this is way different.
No, because Maximus even asks when they first get out on the sand and stuff, and they're doing the whole... The guy from the Charge of the Light Brigade is doing his promo like, here's the barbarians of Hannibal and all that shit. Maximus is like, all right, any of you guys ever been in the army, right? You know, anybody? And a couple of guys are like, yeah. One dude even is like, yeah, I served with you in Germany.
Yeah.
Who is that guy? We never see him. It's just off camera. I'd like to know who that guy was. But he's like, good, you guys can help me. Just listen to what the fuck I say, whatever comes out of here will be fine. Gates open and it's a bunch of fucking chariots and shit, right? Some of these guys listen. They all come together in a nice little porcupine formation. There's like 5 guys who fucking don't. Guess what the fuck happens to all 5 of these assholes? Including Hagen, who would have died. He took an arrow in the fucking knee, Skyrim style, and then would have fucking got cut in half by that goddamn chariot if Maximus hadn't have fucking tackled him.
We forgot to mention something super important.
Oh shit, did we?
We forgot to mention that he finally remembered he should wear a mask.
Oh yeah, he does. He goes and puts on the...
Because he talked to Lucius and he was like, you're that Lucius. Well, dude, I mean, it's literally like...
Yeah, it's 2 seconds. He talks to Lucius.
Well, and it just happened too. Like, we're not talking, like, it's right before the battle. Yeah, I mean, he literally was like brain dead to the fact that he was in the heart of Rome, where the new Caesar is, who he knows is the guy who tried to have him killed,
right?
And never thought I should cover my face up until he saw the kid. He was like, "Oh shit!
I know your mom.
Lucius? Fuck,
I know your mom. Fuck." He even like ducks into a corner and shit.
By no means am I blaming you for not remembering. The movie didn't remember. It's literally like they forgot and had to write a quick script line in real quick, like, "Oh shit! So this is why.
This is why we have the cool helmet,
right?" But yeah, so he now wears a helmet for this first big crazy battle,
so it hides his face.
And he does finally play it up. He showboats for the crowd.
He takes command. He's shouting orders and like
he climbs up the
horse.
He climbs up the horse, dude. That's what I was
doing
gonna say.
The cool fucking like.
He's on the horse with the goddamn fucking sword, and he's like, yeah!
That's fucking good. Crowd loves him. They kill all the chariot people.
Oh, they
wreck
brutalize.
It is awesome.
And the whole fight, did you notice Kami was so mad? Because he did not want the common people to be the winners.
Yeah.
He did
even
not
looks at
want
after he looks at that dude and he's just like, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't the barbarians lose the Battle of Zama? And the guy's just like, yeah, sorry, live show, right? Anything could happen.
It's okay. I like a
surprise.
I like a surprise sometimes.
I want to talk to that guy though. Sure, we can arrange
that. They tell him, and dude, I will give Max credit when he first gets told that the king wants to come talk to him. He's still pretty fucking ballsy and is just like, okay,
cool.
Doesn't think anything about it.
Nope.
Because again, he thinks he's like, I'm just gonna keep the mask on.
Yeah,
I'm
it's gonna be fine. They can't see me.
Right. And then we see he gets led down, full guard, because of course this guy has to have a full guard.
Yeah, they just come in and surround him, and they're like, all right, drop your weapons and shit. And his boys are already super loyal to him at this point. They're like, they look at him, and he's like, yeah, it's cool. And they all drop their weapons and shit. That took him 5 minutes, and he has everybody just being like, well, I'm gonna listen to this guy.
I hate this so much. Like the guards all come out. Of course, Quintus was with him.
He got a little promotion, didn't he?
Smug ass little shit. Mm-hmm. And he looks at the whole time. They come out, and he's out there to talk to goddamn fucking Max, and he's just like the whole time. I barely pay attention to anything else. I just keep looking at his smug face because I'm like, fuck that guy
with his little stick.
Well, and again, like, because this is the moment, right? Like, this is at first he gives the speech, my name is Gladiator, I'm not no name, you don't need to worry about it.
My name is Gladiator.
Dude, if it weren't for Lucius down there, I feel like he would have used that arrow and cut his throat already. Yeah,
that was his plan, but the little kid comes and gets in the way.
Lucius
totally fucked it up.
Fucked shit up, dude. Yeah, so he gives his speech. He wasn't going to do it. He finally
makes
like, no, you have to unmask. He unmasks him.
This is the best fucking little speech.
Oh, dude, I love
it so
every part of this. He hits him. He gives every accolade, right? He gives him his full name. I'm the general of this.
I can do it. I can do the speech.
Oh, do it.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius. I'm leader of the armies of the north, commander of the Felix legions, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I shall have my vengeance in this life or the next. It's like, dude, God damn, dude, God damn.
He hits him with the shit, right?
And he's just like, he has that look. He just kind of looks off to the side and is like, kill this guy.
Well, as soon as this is said, is that next moment of like complete and stupid disbelief, right?
Right.
Because now's that part where you're like, oh yeah, these people saw this guy for at least a day before this battle,
right,
without a helmet.
Yep.
Nobody in Rome,
just hanging out.
Nobody in Rome recognized him. Senators definitely had seen him before. He was such a high-ranking general that Marcus assured him nobody would question whether he should be Caesar. Yeah. Which means the senators would have to know what he looks like, right?
None of them went down to look. There
has to be a Roman citizen that would know what he looks like. Like his painting is somewhere. It's a drawing on something. It's on a coin somewhere.
That guy looks an awful lot like General Maximus. Remember General Maximus? Didn't he die?
What happened to him?
That guy looks just fucking like. He looks just like. See, I have the coin right here. See,
right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I find so much problem with that. But then he demasked. The crowd's still like,
I don't know who the fuck
But then
you
when
are.
he drops who he is, I'm like, well, this should be movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, literally right now, the people are going to turn on Commodus, because what does he got to say about why this happened? The
Praetorian Guard should be turning on him. Quintus should be like, oh, you're not dead, my
and
dude.
Just to save himself, be like, yeah. Because at this point, we know he's the bad guy.
He is. He's the real villain here, fucking Quintus.
But yeah, so like, it should have just been like the end, right? Like, but no. The people know, the senators know, and they're just like, oh, he still gets to be an imprisoned gladiator?
Dims the rules.
Nobody's going to question why he's alive, why the Caesar is the one who promised everybody he was dead. None of those guard members that had a hand in any of this are questioning why his family got murdered.
Yeah, it's like, well, why'd I... Like, the one of them's in that group, right? One of the guys who went and killed him. He's just standing there. He's just like... why the fuck did we do this?
We saw like 9 men charging on horse, and there are like 9
They're
men
those
right
guys,
here.
right?
It's literally the same team. At this point, none of them are questioning, oh shit, we fucked up, right?
Yeah,
we did the wrong thing.
It's the, are we the baddies meme,
I'm
right?
telling you, it should be, right? Like, that's what should be going on right now. But surprisingly,
no,
it's not.
Everybody's
and
just
that's why the movie still goes.
Exactly. For like another hour and a half.
That's not quite that bad. But definitely,
we have more movie too.
Yeah, definitely more than you would expect. But now, like I said, the people still act very surprised. They don't understand. But now is when we start to see that the captors, the people in charge of the gladiators, they are starting to treating him better. Yeah, right? They're like, oh, you're the general? We got good food for you.
The cook gives him the more food. And he's sitting there looking at it like, no, don't eat that. Yeah, dude. That's but then the
one guy eats it and was like, yeah,
I got you.
Such a fun scene of camaraderie.
Apparently, that guy was super proud of that scene because he didn't think he was going to be able to pull it off.
I think he did great.
Funny. I love that scene. That's one of my favorite scenes. Is them
like I said, it's
because they're just being boys.
Well, because again, despite the situation, the whole him and Juba friendship, like it's one of those like, despite the circumstances, they were able to find a good in what's going on. This friendship,
I want more of it. Really, this is all we get is this little scene.
That's why you got Spartacus.
Yeah, there we go.
It's about the friendships.
It's about all that. It is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got it.
If it wasn't for this movie, man, would not have had so many good shit.
We also see Lucilla come to visit Maximus, right?
Yep. Because she thought he was dead.
Yeah, and she's like, look, you gotta not do this. You should just do this. And she basically tries to lecture him on how he should behave. And he is just like, bitch, have you forgotten your brother killed my family?
Right.
Wanted to kill me. And regardless of what you want to say right now and who we used to be to each other,
it's not the spot.
You're still the person who is backing and helping your brother.
Yeah, he thought
you probably don't need to talk to me.
She was there to kill him when he first got there. He's like, I knew your brother would send assassins.
Like, you don't need to talk to me right now. right?
But no, she actually wants to kind of have him talk to some senators.
Yeah, no, she is on the good side, but I can understand why he does not believe that.
Yeah, I mean, he had no reason to.
The last time he encountered her was still not that great.
Yeah.
You know, like there's plenty. The brother is not great. This is also maybe a good time to mention that we didn't talk about earlier. They constantly reference the fact that they've all known each other since childhood.
Yeah, they were all kids together.
Despite the fact that he is a Spaniard.
Hostage? From an important noble Spanish family?
No, because he lives in the family. I mean, he's got the estate out there. That's where they burned his house down.
I have nothing.
You get what I mean? Like,
I got nothing.
I'm not trying to poke holes in your favorite movie. I'm just saying, it's weird. How did they grow up together?
Just for fun. It's because the script told me to.
I mean, I know. I'm just saying, like, it's so weird. It's one of the weirdest choices.
Yeah,
like, because we don't need
like, why are they have
They could have done this without mentioning friendship as kids.
They're all like in their 30s, could have been 10 years ago when they're like 20. Like,
well,
they all, when he was new in the army, went to Rome. He didn't ever went to Rome.
I don't think we ever even need to mention that they knew each other prior. I don't think it adds anything to the story.
Doesn't.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, it was just a weird choice to say they did.
Find
I know. But I think we could have just done the story without it.
I want it to make sense.
It's to make more sense out of them having the pseudo-love relationship they do at the very end.
Used to date or something.
But they didn't. That's even the thing. Like, they did, but they didn't.
They liked each other, but didn't do it?
That's the vibe I got from it. Yeah. She shows up, and he is definitely, he is done with her. He's writing her off, because, again...
Yeah. If you want your brother dead, have one of your bullshit senators.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's like, look, I don't care that even now I know you're good.
Yeah, like you
are still connected.
I'm a slave.
Yeah,
right?
you're still connected to the dude. That's the reason I'm here. And so he's basically like, look, you do some shit to prove to me that we're on the up and up,
right?
And then maybe we can talk about it, right? And that's the best we get from him. All right, so now is when we finally get a shot in the crowd and see, for the next games, Cicero has showed up.
Randomly. Did you have any problem with this, that he just randomly kind of showed up?
I have a problem with the fact that we don't get any mention of him at all for any reason. No. And now he's important. Like, not just that he comes back up, important. But they try to, like, make him important after not being in the movie the whole time.
Right.
That's, yeah. I don't have a problem with him showing up. The level of importance
they try
to put on him from this point on.
But he shows up
for the Tigress
game. The Tigress fight with the Tigress and Tiger fight.
Well, this is my problem too. Is the Tigress? When we hear the weird crier guy announce this fight, right?
Yeah.
It's Tigress. He's the only person who's ever successfully won and made it out of the game.
Yeah, he's retired. Been retired for 5 years.
What's Proximo?
He's just an asshole. Fuck him. He's not Tigress of Gaul.
But he's retired from the games, and he won his retirement from the king, from the emperor.
Fucking.
He's got the sword to prove it.
Too long ago. No one pays attention.
My problem is just like they say. The guy used a definitive statement,
yeah, he did.
Right? Like, he used a very much
he's the only one ever to do this, and then we got literally Proximo's in the crowd. Like, he's watching. He's like, I can go get my Rudius right now.
He show you. Could have just said he's one of the only and been fine. It would like 2 seconds to fix that to where I wouldn't have a problem.
Nope, it's Tigers and this.
But yeah, like you said, with Tigers. And not only that Tigers, but like they're literally his. Like, I was like,
does he just
did
travel
Ridley Scott
with these?
not understand that name doesn't actually have to mean connected to Tiger? Like, the guy didn't literally have to have Tigers with him because his name was Tigris.
They're so similar. Tigris the Tiger. Come on, man.
I don't even think they added that much to the fight, because really, most of them die really quick and easy.
Yeah, they don't really do anything except kind of a couple of swipes. One jumps on his back and he immediately kills it.
No, that was so funny. Like, he jumps on his back, and for a split second, Tigris starts to celebrate like it's over. And I was just like, my boy Max ain't going down like that.
He just kind of shrugs it off and kills it.
He does a Hercules and throws it off of his shoulders, dude. Like, right?
Judo flip.
It was nuts. And then it jumps at him again, straight through the fucking head, dude. Like, done. Done so.
The only problem is it's like 800 pounds on top of him. So he has the the struggle part where
you
he's
see the moment where like
smashed?
Tigress, you're like, he's crying under that mask,
Yeah.
right? Like when he sees it, he was just
You
like,
killed my tiger.
you took out my pet.
His name was Tony.
Like I said, man, a cat ain't gonna stop Max. That's all I gotta say. No cat.
Nope,
You didn't
no
bring a
cat
cat.
gonna stop it, dude.
I don't care how big it is. It's a
He
cat.
fucking smashes him in the fucking nose.
Dude, this shield bash was nuts.
To a fully armored face, he has like the cool mask.
Well,
and
that's
shit.
even what
Doesn't
made it
fucking
worse,
matter.
though, because
It
the
smashes
mask,
it
he
into
broke
his
the
nose.
mask, so that way the form-fitting metal
He is
smashed
It is
him.
just pissing blood out of that mask, and then he takes the axe and smashes it through his fucking
toe,
foot.
right? All like in one swift move, almost.
Right,
Like it was
just
literally
smack,
almost at the exact
boom.
time. Yeah, and you know the fight's done at this point, dude. Like, dude still tries to act like he's gonna do something,
Nope,
and Max
just
is like,
stay
nope,
the fuck
stands
down.
up, brings a sword, points it down at him. He's like, no, just no, it's done right now. We start to see the point. This is like the crowd. Kill him! Kill him!
No!
Thumbs down!
Thumbs
down! Literally, we see Kami give the thumbs down. Everybody is like, yeah!
Maximus
Throws his
This is
sword
Maximus
down.
right there.
Throws his sword down.
Fuck you,
He says, I'm not
man.
doing it. You can't
I
make
ain't
me
doing
do it.
nothing.
Fuck you people. This is insanity right now.
But what's great about it is the crowd goes with it. One guy out of the crowd is like, yo, Maximus the Merciful. And then the crowd's like, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too, right? That's exactly what Kami says about this. Kami is like, how do I combat that?
Yeah, what do I do against this?
Like, they're on his side. Like,
I look even more evil if I kill him.
They backed him when he decided to be gracious.
And not kill this champion of the arena for many years. Like,
what do I do?
He's so good at this game, right?
Right, like, he did the thing they didn't want. And they backed him.
Yeah, he's too good at the promo psychology here. You know?
And he's not even trying.
No, he's
like,
not.
That's the best
It's
part.
just
Like,
natural.
at this point, it is all just, there's no thought. This isn't planned. This is just a man being a man
and
seeing a clear way to get his revenge.
I am not going to... You want me to kill him? You want me to... Go fuck yourself. I'm not going to do it. Crowd loves it, right? Because who doesn't love a anti-authority guy, right? Just like, who doesn't want to tell their boss to go suck a dick, right? And get away with it. That's the even more important part. He got away with doing that.
Well, and like this, he comes down to see him again.
Yeah, the Emperor
Full
comes
guard.
down here. He's just like, what am I going to do with you?
He starts, again, we already
Taunting the shit out of him.
Not even the taunting, dude. Again, that's just what he's doing to him. My problem is just like the last time that he was down in the dirt with his full fucking guard set.
Yeah.
How do any of the people still back him after hearing the shit that's about to go down, right? Like, he literally starts making fun of the dude's dead wife and
kid.
child.
Like, oh, your son screamed like a girl when he died.
And at this point, it's not a secret. Everyone knows this is
the story has gone around. Like,
this is the
who
war
this guy
hero
is.
of the Germanic battles.
Yeah, ever since he took that helmet off in the first one, that story is
How
all
do
over
those
Rome.
guards? And this is finally the time you see it, though. You see at least one. Did you notice the one guy in the background? You see his face. He is even kind of like,
fuck this.
What is going on right now?
Why are you talking to him?
Did you guys
right
hear
now?
what he just said?
Right.
And rightfully so, because
Commodus wants Maximus to attack him because his
he wants
guards would have no choice
they would
but
honor
to kill
bound
him.
in front of a crowd.
Yeah,
to
kill him.
Yes.
It's like, oh, he attacked the emperor,
regardless of what they think. Because
Yeah.
again, like they know how it would look.
how
to
it
a
would
crowd.
work. It's like, oh, he attacked the emperor. You kind of have to kill him. But
Yeah.
Maximus is just like, the time for honoring yourself and kissing your own ass is going to be over real soon.
I'm telling you right now, I expected Maximus to flat out tell Kami, "You do it." Like I thought that's what was going to happen. I thought he was going to hand him the sword and be like,
"Come on,
you wanted him gone.
You killed him.
You're the big guy. I remember watching you practice fight back in the day.
You remember when you fought like 6 guys all at once?
Let's see
how
well you handle your sword to execute this man.
Go ahead. Go ahead, kill him.
I think it would have been just as apt to prove a point.
Yeah, probably would have. My favorite bit is Maximus just turns around to leave, and the 2 centurions nod to him when he leaves. They're just like, "Yeah, you good."
I love that. I love that every time Max needs to do something to prove a point to Kami, he turns his back to him. It's been since the beginning, since the moment he said he was in charge.
Yep.
He said, "Yoinks."
No, you ain't.
I don't think
Kiss
so.
my ass.
This is Cicero finally sees him. For real, like
yeah,
talks to him a little
he,
bit.
Comes out here, he's like,
in the weirdest, like brief conversations as they're running past each other, right?
Where are you stationed? Off over somewhere.
Yeah. Basically, though, all we really need to get from this is he gets the toys, the little figurines that were his son. And daughter, right? And they were like toys of his sons, right?
Yeah.
Like they were his sons' figures for the family.
Yeah, his son made them. Is the implication, I think.
And then he also tells Cicero, gather the troops. Anybody you know is so loyal to me, talk to them, tell them to be here, be ready.
Tell them
I'm going to make shit happen.
Dead.
I'm done with this.
Yeah, fuck all this shit.
I'm done with it. If I die, I die, but we're done. Right?
We're going to have a fight about this.
And so since he's done, he finally agrees to the conversation with the senators because he knows that if he's done, he needs to get out. And the only way he can try to make that happen is with Lucilla and the senators.
Senator Gracchus.
He's not going to do it on his own.
Because they have to buy his freedom.
Yeah. Well,
Proximo's still a businessman.
Well, again, he has a plan.
Yeah.
That's the point. Like, a lot of the beginning, like we had said earlier, there was no plan.
No, he
this
just
was
wanted
a
to
man
kill
who
Commodus.
wanted revenge and didn't have... He knew the basics of I need my freedom or I need to get in front of him. That's all it was. Now he's got a plan.
Now I need to get out of here, get to my army, come back, take the city, kill this fuck, and then give the
and
army.
Then I'm out. Then I did.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm going to give the army to the Senate.
The senator is like,
fuck off.
Gracchus is like, you're just going to give them to it. You're just going to let us have Rome
he's
back.
Just completely. He's like, sure you are. You're after this great victory.
But then he explains himself and he's like, well, honestly, I knew that. Yeah. I knew there's no way Marcus would have chose you in the first place unless that's true.
That's what it was.
But I needed to hear you say it.
Yeah, he's
right. Like I test. Like we come from Rome and a lot of backstabbing.
There's a lot of lying motherfuckers here, man. I had to be sure.
I'm a senator and we're kind of famous for that.
Yeah. You know how many people I lied to this morning?
Well, not even that. Like, I mean, literally, like, Caesar had already been stabbed.
Yeah,
by this
stabbed
point. The senators have already proven that they don't like the people on top.
Hey, they gangster. They handle their business.
But yeah, so he's like, I just needed to make sure that we're all on the same page here, right? Yeah.
So it's all set.
Well, but Lucilla at first, so this is that point. This is that conversation stopper where Lucilla was even like, "Are you sure? You think they're they're his army now? You think they're just gonna do?
You think they're just gonna turn on the emperor?
Let them see my face, and you'll see what my army will do for me."
Right. If you let them see I'm alive, every fucking one of those guys will be willing to die for me.
I don't care what goes on with this guy. I don't care what he's asked for, how crazy it is. Even in a moment like that where he's like, I'm going to annihilate people, these people that love and adore me. The reason you're still behind him is because, like, the morality and, like, the justice and, like,
he doesn't want to be in charge. He just wants to...
Well, and again, there's...
end corruption.
It's not from malice.
Yeah.
Right? Like, again, like... At this point, he's just because he knows that this is a man that's going to do more stuff like this.
It's going to get worse if I don't stop it now.
If I can't let me be the one who had to learn and sacrifice the ultimate sacrifice. I'm not nobody else, though, right?
Yeah, how many other children is this guy going to kill?
Exactly.
It stops with my son.
At this point, we see the conversation Kami's having, right, where he's like, we can't do this. We got to do something with his senator, right? Like his secret senator that we've all known all along. But his secret senator.
This is the weird speech about the sea serpent that he's like, it just lays there and lets its enemies come and nibble.
And the martyr. And that's the only part of the speech that makes it the sea serpent.
Yeah, because the senator's like, just kill him. He's like, I can't make him a martyr, which is exactly what would happen.
It would not have ended well.
It wouldn't have just been the army coming.
No, everybody at this point.
People of Rome.
Because at this point, he's a double hero. He's the champion of the Colosseum and the hero of the wars. Yeah, like you can't at this point. No. Yeah, I didn't like the sea serpent speech at all.
And the way he says "nibble" bothers me. It's a small thing, just the way that Joaquin Phoenix said "nibble" just bothers the fuck out of me. Yes, that's all that happens at that scene. And then we get I guess Lucilla is like, oh shit, we're out of time.
Yeah.
We gotta go right goddamn now, right?
Yeah.
So she goes off to go tell Gracchus and everybody, like, hey, he's on to us. We gotta fucking go.
Because it's after the... Is that after the weird sexual... No, that's after Gracchus gets arrested.
Yeah, that's after Gracchus gets arrested, which happens right after this.
Give me 1 second. I don't think she rushed anything yet.
Oh, was that after Gracchus got arrested?
Yeah.
Okay, I jumped ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, no. She just wants to... Everything is still going the way it's supposed to right now. Yeah. That's all that's happening. But everything is... They're putting the plan into step.
There's spy versus spy shit going on.
They're doing everything that they need to. While this is going on, they're worried, like, is Gracchus going to follow through? With is he going to be able to keep up with what he says? Is he going to be able to get him out? Can they actually do this? Because
he's got to pay for his freedom and all that shit.
Yep. Proximo is the one. This is when we find out about Proximo. Proximo at first, remember? Yeah. Like, it's in the dead of night, and he's kind of telling, like, I don't
know what the fuck.
I don't know if I agree
with any of this
with
shit.
What you're setting up here. Because he says
a fight promoter.
Well, Max is like, I want to get rid of him.
Why would I do that? He makes me rich.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Proximo's like, I'm
an entertainer, man.
He's my money bags.
Right? Like, this is my job.
I don't think you understand the worlds we're coming from.
He killed the man who gave you freedom.
And that was it.
That's what got him. Because he was against it all the way up to that point where Maximus is like, yeah, he killed the guy who let you go. And he's like, oh, well, fuck that.
But the fucked up part, though, is as soon as we hear that, so that's the part where we're like, oh, sweet.
Proximo's in.
Last piece of the puzzle's locked into place. Then we start to see the weird montages of shit falling apart,
just
left and right, right? Like Gracchus gets arrested.
Because apparently Commodus is way better connected than we thought.
Than we knew. Because again, we didn't know any part of this.
No, didn't have any idea.
It was literally like a shock factor when you see them ride up to Gracchus in the middle of the day.
And arrest him, right? It's like,
oh shit.
Well, fuck.
And so he does. He gets arrested middle of the day.
I like how he gets arrested. He's like feeding his chickens, and they come up to him. He just throws the seeds. Like, well,
he told his little servant to run off to make sure people.
I don't want to kill any of his servants.
Well, he wanted also he was probably like go make sure everybody knows what's going down. Like get shit moving. And now is when you were is when she rushes shit along. Like she starts to be like, we need to go because after Gracchus dies, Kami comes to visit her. Gets really creepy with her. It. The creepiest he's been which is saying something. He's a creepy guy.
Yeah, like they makes her like lay down in the bed and he's all touching her and shit. But he passes out. Like I'm not really. Did he give up or pass out?
I don't know either way.
The good part of my brain wants to say that like he decided against it because it's weird.
I don't know.
But then there's part of me that's like he just passed out.
But as soon as she can, she bolts.
Gets up and is gone. Like oh. Fuck.
And now is when she's massively like, we have to, it doesn't matter when we were going to do things, we got to do things now.
We got to go right now.
Things got to happen right
Maximus
now.
And Proximo
tells him,
and shit.
Yep, tells him like, look, it's
got to be tonight. Gracchus has been arrested. It has to happen.
If we don't do it now, I can't make any promises.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do. So that's all set, right? We're gonna have he's gonna get out. It's gonna be great, right? Happy ending. The only real sacrifice is Gracchus, right? Please tell me. Please tell me that's what happened.
No,
please.
So while all this is going on, and again, we get the redemption from Lucilla.
I know.
She even mentions that. She mentions that she needs to atone for her part in all this. She realized that despite her not having an active hand, she is still responsible. Yes. While she's away, helping all this get into fruition and happen, unfortunately she left poor Lucius to play by himself.
And he doesn't know. It's not his fault, but he calls Maximus the savior of Rome.
Because that's what Mommy's been saying around the house.
Been saying. And
Kami hears it.
And is like, who the fuck said that?
And so then he's...
This is the creepiest speech.
Lucilla
the bumblebee,
Lucilla comes home, and she sees the two of them sitting beside each other, and he makes the most outrageous, veiled threats about killing Lucius
and her,
while having his arm around him.
And the kid's face during this is so great. The
kid doesn't know.
He's sitting there just like, I know I've fucked up somehow, but I don't.
But he doesn't know his life is in danger,
happening.
Right? Like
he looks like I know something bad is going on, but I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah. And
so props to the kid during this scene.
If he understood that his own life was in danger,
he was just
right
like
now,
the wide-eyed expression on the kid's face was just good.
It's bad. It's bad.
And
Things are
she's
rough.
just
And so she
crying because she knows she's been caught.
This is awful for several reasons. It's awful that she has to now rat on the people. It's awful that they get ratted on. It's awful because that she never gets to tell her side. Yeah. And I feel like Max would not blame her if he knew the kid.
If he knew.
Because again, his soft spot has been Lucius.
Kid. That's the whole reason the Emperor lived an hour ago, is because the kid ran out.
So again, I feel like if everybody would have got to explain themselves, it wouldn't end. But that's why this is a drama. It ends with that. Like, nobody knows. Everybody just has to think that everybody did them dirty at the end. Right?
It's almost Shakespearean.
It is. But the truth here is that she was not. She was put in a hard spot.
No choice.
She was trying to do the best thing she could for her kid.
Out my save my kid.
He gives the crazy speech, the bee thing, where it's like hinted at. But then we see immediately after that where he's just sitting with her and he just blatantly says it. Where he's like, look.
If you so much as look at me the way I don't fucking like, I'm going to kill him.
If you want to kill yourself, I'm going to kill him.
If you don't produce me an heir, which is really fucked up, that's your sister, man.
Yes, I'm a killer.
I'm a kill him.
If you don't love me unconditionally,
I'm a kill him.
This was so messed up, dude.
And then he's all like, am I not merciful?
Oh.
All smug. And she just kind of looks at him, and then
she breaks down.
Yeah, and then he grabs her face and screams it at her.
It is insane.
God, you know it busted an eardrum. You think he apologized to her before they started the scene? Just like, look, it's going to get loud.
I'm not sure.
I would. I'd be like, look, I'm going to scream right directly in your ear. Be ready for it.
But so from here, we see everything breaks down. Like I said, it started before. But
the Praetorian Guard they're on the way to the
Proximo.
Yeah, they're trying to get through the gate.
And at first he still hasn't even made his decision. Literally, I feel like he didn't make his decision until on the fly. When he's standing there and hands him the key finally. Like, I feel like that's the moment he decided, I'm giving up the riches.
I love how this scene was done because those are actually just reused shots
I know.
from other scenes. Because
in a body double. Because
Oliver Reed died.
And it looks good.
It looks so
for
good.
For the time period,
and
especially.
I love Maximus and shit when he hands him the keys. He's like, Proximo, are you in danger of becoming a good man? Ha! And then walks off to go die like a badass.
Standing upstairs
with his wooden sword just ready for
I was ready for him to go down swinging.
Shadows and dust.
And he just he said,
all we are, man.
Do it.
Go.
I'm done.
Yep.
I've done my fighting.
I've had
my
glory.
last piece of this was to let that man go. So
there we go.
Do what you will with me. Right?
It was a good ending for Proximo. I have no problem.
For something that was technically changed on the fly.
And
really good.
Another good end here in a fucking minute, because Maximus gathers his boys and he's like, look, we're going to have to fight these guys. I only need a couple of minutes, so don't do anything stupid.
They all die right now.
Immediately proceed to do the dumbest shit.
But it makes for the dopest fucking action sequence.
And Hagen, the big German.
Yes, dude.
3 arrows in the chest, 2 in the back, gets stabbed in the gut.
That guy
finally goes down.
It's like you speaking that he knew Arnold. That's old school Arnold movie vibes right there, right? Like just taking more hits than is humanly possible.
Yeah, he's like, I will go down like a robot.
Yes,
I am the Terminator of this fucking movie.
This was,
but they buy Maximus enough time to get out.
Everything that we hoped for.
It's gonna be great, right?
Movie's over. He sees Cicero.
Yeah, we're gonna get away.
I mean, we as viewers thought that.
When I was a kid,
that rope around Cicero's neck.
I was in the theater. Didn't notice it.
Hidden.
Didn't notice it in the theater
until the moment he swings.
I thought we were gonna have. I was like, man, this is gonna be like a 3-hour movie.
I watched this like 3 times, dude. The second time and third time, I knew he was swinging. It still almost surprised me.
Still can't see that rope. They hit it really good because I wanted it to go this way. I wanted Maximus to get back to his army, and we'd have the big final battle,
like a battle at the end to replicate the battle at the beginning.
Yes, that's what when I'm in the theater, like as a kid, I'm like, that's where we're going.
It feels like it.
And then he starts swinging from the rope, and I'm like, no, all of my hopes and dreams. And to make it worse, he takes like 5 arrows in the fucking chest.
I was like, uncalled for.
Right? He apologizes. He's like, I'm sorry.
Like, Cicero, you did nothing wrong,
You did nothing wrong, man. You were the best.
For a dude who disappeared for fucking
40 minutes of the movie.
Like, you're great, man.
You're
Don't
a great
feel
dude.
Bad. We love you, Cicero.
But then they capture Maximus
again,
and take him down to the bottom of the Colosseum where he's all chained up, and
he has to deal with fucking Commodus
coming in there and being the smuggest asshole in the fucking world.
He's like, I'm gonna let you. We're gonna have one more fight.
Yeah, you're gonna fight me.
I'm gonna let you have everything you want.
Yeah, you get to fight me. It's gonna be great.
But then he stabs him with a poison dagger
right in the kidney or something. Like enough to make it just like bleed slowly.
Like I don't even know if he's actually poisoned. I just always assumed it is, right? Like
it seems like it should be
because it took at this point.
Because it took so
long.
He
dies for sure anyway too.
Yeah, but it wasn't like 30 seconds from now.
Yeah.
But he gets a good stick and he's just like, put his armor on, hide the wound.
Quintus at this point.
Such a pussy.
Beyond redeemable.
Such a fucking pussy.
I hate this dude. Like, God. But now is when you can see it on his face. He is even finally like, God damn, dude. Like, what have I signed up for?
Right.
What is all this bullshit?
I do like this next bit, though. The elevator up into the fucking Colosseum and shit, and all the rose petals coming down. And the only thing I hate about this entire scene
is the most visible thing in the whole world.
Oh my god, I hate it so much. What is with the white armor?
I don't know.
It's
white leather. Where do you how is that even something they could have made back then?
I don't. You're probably
would they've painted it? But that doesn't look like paint.
Just throw lime on it, I guess.
But wouldn't that just yellow it? Because it's like a bleach at that point.
I don't know.
But you understand where I'm coming from.
I hate Joaquin Phoenix costume.
This is
part.
stark white. Like we're not talking like.
I get it. Ridley Scott wanted him to look like a statue, and like there's.
And that's very Roman.
Yeah, I get it. But fuck, it looks so stupid.
Looks so weird.
I hate it.
It looks like he's wearing like a mix of like Shakespearean balloon clothes with white leather on top of it, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
Or he's one of those people who pretend to be like bronze statues.
Yes, yeah.
Like
it's it's so strange.
So bad.
It is an epic fight.
Oh, dude, the fight is awesome. I love this fight.
I do too, except for I don't buy it. Because again, where did Kami learn to fight long enough to stay alive this long? That dude should have died immediately.
Even with Maximus fucking wounded and
shit. No.
Still should have been 3 seconds.
Immediately should have went out.
I get they were trying to be like, well, he's wounded, and that's why he was able to... No. Have you watched the rest of this movie? He killed 10 guys by himself. Did you
watch the guy in the middle of a mad depression from his family being possibly slaughtered, like survive to go find them?
Right?
Yeah. No, this dude didn't stand a chance. This dude is the guy that would have fought his way out of this silly moment right here.
They fight. My favorite part is he knocks Commodus' sword away. Commodus is like, I need a sword. Somebody give me a sword and shit. Then Quintus tries to turn babyface again. He just comes up out of nowhere after being such a dick through this whole fucking movie. Quintus comes up and is like, no, don't let the Emperor have a sword. I'm a good guy now. Everybody just keep him in your sheaths.
Right?
See Maximus? I'm nice. I was on your side the whole time.
And it's so bullshit because, again, it's like, at this point, the man is probably so, like unpowerful. Like, he's lost so much of who he is. I don't know if he could lift the sword one more time to do it. To give the final blow.
Yeah, because Maximus is bleeding to death. And so you can see it. It is running down his leg.
So it's literally like, Quintus, I think we all know you waited 1 minute too long.
Maybe before he got stabbed in the fucking side, should have maybe spoke up.
But now is too far for that redemption.
Late, dude. Commodus is like, fine, fuck all you people, and pulls.
I'm gonna do it.
I'll get him. Pulls the little dagger out of his gauntlet,
like he thought he was
gonna do something. Maximus beats the absolute dog shit out of him for like 30 seconds.
Then we get the Assassin's Creed sound effect.
Yeah,
it literally sounds like the hidden blade coming out.
It does. stabs him in the throat, and God, I love this movie so much, but I hate this fucking scene.
He takes him out.
It's clearly...
We get what we want. We get what we want. But
it's,
at a price.
It's slightly ruined by the fact that I can tell it's a rubber knife because you see it bend in their hand.
Well, it's flat.
Yeah.
It doesn't look metallic. It looks flat.
Yeah, it's weird. I hate the knife.
And on top of that, Max just there's almost not even a triumphant moment. It's literally like death.
Yeah,
right?
Max dies, or no, Commodus dies from the knife in the throat, and then Max turns around and is like, hey, let all my boys go.
He does at least...
Senator Gracchus is reinstated, which is bullshit, because he would have been immediately murdered.
He was not alive. Gracchus was dead, 100%. He was dead. I can't stress this enough. Max is insane. Maybe it's the lack of blood. Maybe he, maybe in his fever, thought that Gracchus was still alive. Gracchus is dead. There's no way that man had been kept prisoner for over 12 hours, being a political prisoner against the Caesar.
Emperor. He's like, you were conspiring against me. I'm just going to keep you?
Yeah, that man was gone.
Like, immediately. As soon as he was arrested,
I'm surprised he was arrested and not slaughtered.
Yeah, just killed
in his own
home.
farm. Yeah, come on.
The only reason I could figure is because they had to kind of shift things because Oliver Reed died. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But Maximus... he falls over dead. We get the nice scene of him kind of being reunited in the afterlife with the going through the wheat field and you
see the ringed hand dancing across the top of the wheat.
The start of the movie. And shit.
Makes sense now.
Yeah, it makes sense. Full circle. It's like, that's what the fuck that was. So did he know he was going to die?
I don't know.
From the beginning?
I don't know if it's that or if it's that we are watching the events after he had died. Right? Like, we're seeing him. Yeah. I don't know
which is flashback.
But I feel like it's one of those two for sure.
Sounds good. But he dies. Lucy gives a fucking great speech. I love it. She's just like, he was a soldier of Rome, god damn it. We'll honor and respect him and live for the glory of what he wanted and all this other shit.
It's good. It's a good speech.
So then they carry him off. Final scene of the movie is my favorite one. Jubba goes back into the arena, takes the little clay figurines that Maximus has, buries them in the sand, and he's like, I'll see you again, buddy.
Because that's what he told him, right?
But
he talked to everybody.
But not yet.
I do appreciate that.
Over.
I do appreciate that, but at the same time, man, those toys for the kids. Can we just bury those for the kid? Can the kid have a decent burial? Can we pretend like that was the kid getting a decent burial, which should not be in the arena?
No,
I
understand. If you pay attention, it's in a blood stain.
I know. I understand.
it's Maximus's blood that he's burying.
I understand. We were done in the symbology of what we were going for in that moment. But I mean, for me, those represent the kid. Can we just give the kid a good burial, please? All right, I think we're good on that, though. That's the movie. That's the movie. Everything.
It's great. I love this fucking movie, guys. I'm a little drunk.
Yeah, guys. 9%. I don't know what you guys need to hear from us.
Could you tell?
It's good.
Could you tell I was trying to maintain?
I like it. It's crazy.
I like this. It's definitely a colossal
grew on
IPA.
Us. The scene, remember, I told you to hold it off. Wait until we actually try something.
Why we wait to the end.
Us. That's right.
You never know. Final
sometimes things just you're like,
starts off bad.
That first little taste is worth the experience.
Yeah, starts off bad, gets good.
Like by this point, I can just I don't even notice that its taste is in any way how we I don't even remember how we described it in the beginning.
I don't either. It needs the grapefruit.
Yeah, I don't even know if it needs that now. I feel like it's still pretty
9% is enough to fix everything.
Just get enough in your system. You'll be okay.
At least 2 and you're fine. You won't even taste it.
On that note, Bo, go ahead. Tell us what we're drinking next week.
Oh, next time. It's Halloween.
Yeah. So I'll let Bo hit you with the beer, and then I'll hit you guys with some information. All right. So you know where we're going.
We're going to be doing Shiners, Oktoberfest, Marzen? Marzen? It's got 2 dots above the A. Style beer. I don't know what that means.
So I'll go ahead and take over now since I usually talk about the movie. This time, guys, we're going to do things a little bit different. Just like we did for Christmas last year. If you were fans here and you've been listening since Christmas, sometimes we just don't want to do the work.
Sometimes we get lazy.
sometimes we just try to find a way to be able to do something fun, right? A fun little something.
And damn it,
And so last year we still did October. Obviously it's October. We got to do scary movies.
Scary movies.
It's just what you do.
But that's not the point.
And so we're still going to do scary movies, but we also just didn't want to do the work because last year we did the work. Last year we found beers to match all, and scary movies are a little bit harder to do.
We got lucky with a couple of those. That Nosferatu one.
Yeah. So we're going to try to make this year a little bit easier for us. So like we did and cheated for Christmas, where all we did were Christmas ales.
This year we're just going to do Oktoberfest.
We're going to find different Oktoberfests every week, and we're just going to. It's each one of us gets a gimme week. So I get a week.
I'll pick two.
Yeah, and so we'll alternate back and forth. This first week is mine. So I decided we're going to watch Dr. Giggles. I don't know if anybody else out there has ever watched this.
Nope.
This is a 90s
I've never seen it.
Horror classic B movie. I don't even know if it's B movie necessarily. Yeah, it's definitely schlock. It's definitely cheesy horror movie. It's definitely like makes no sense. You know what I mean? Like it's
the best kind of movie, right?
Yes.
It's the best.
I definitely watched this as a little kid. I was scared. I mean, keep that in mind. As a kid, this was 100% one of those things that scared me.
When you're a kid, all these movies scare you.
Yeah, but I just want people to know specifically, like when both of my movies that I'm choosing for the month of October are both movies that genuinely scared me as a child for different reasons. So again, if you guys want to keep up with us, it's Dr. Giggles.
Go watch it
before
the next one comes out.
Check it out. Maybe try to get yourself an Oktoberfest. You don't even got to get the Shiner one.
Just pick one at random.
That's going to
have fun with it.
The extra fun of October is that you're really just going to get to be laid back with us, right?
Exactly.
But on that note, I think we are fully finished on this.
Yeah, I think we're done, man. All right. To the arena.